And we're live. It's instant this time.
Yeah, no preview. No
Nope.
previews of the
No
remix.
hangout, dude. People know by now what time it starts. I'm ready to pump. There's Larla. Do you like asparagus, Stas?
No.
Really? Put some butter or some fat on there, like a oil
Well,
or
here's the
something.
deal. I don't know entirely if what my stance is on most vegetables because
You can't eat it. You just can't start.
no, my parents' preference for vegetables is floppy as fuck. So I
Oh.
grew up with vegetables that were just floopy, and it was like I didn't like the. I definitely knew I didn't like them.
Yeah, you don't want like a mushy.
Yeah, so I can eat a lot of vegetables raw.
That's
Um,
interesting. Like what do
but I
you
don't know about al dente. I can do steamed broccoli. Well, not really. I can't do steamed broccoli. I only do broccoli in Chinese food with some beef and broccoli.
wait. I love how
That
you
shit's
immediately
good.
backtracked. Wait, so you love it in like a beef and broccoli, but like just
Oh
broccoli
yeah,
by
because
itself, you don't
the
touch?
sauce, the sprouts absorb all the sauce. Oh god, it's so good.
Yeah. Okay, so then you just like it as a vessel there.
Yes, but
Yeah.
the taste itself, I don't like the taste itself, but I can only that's the thing, as a child, and now I can only recall the taste as a child of when I was mushy it was.
Yeah. I like steamed broccoli for sure. Like again, all vegetables are better with some sort of fat, like butter or olive oil, and then salt and pepper. Like you need the salt and pepper in the fat. It's makes it
I
a
mean, I'd
thousand.
be willing to
Unless it's
try
raw. Unless it's
steamed
raw.
stuff, but the thing is, it's like I don't care. I'll eat raw carrots and raw whatever.
Yeah, I mean raw is
Not
a
a big
different
deal.
story, obviously. You don't need to salt a raw
Yeah,
carrot.
and get on the caveman diet.
Well, carrots though, if you do them right, they get kind of sweet. They're good.
Yeah, I don't like can I don't yeah, no, I don't want to think I don't want to talk about
But
that.
it's just weird. Like a raw, you can have the same raw carrot and eat it, and it's like a fucking carrot. But then if you cook it down just a little bit, like brown it, add a little salt, and it gets kind of like sweet. It's like it sometimes gets real sweet.
Yeah,
Roasted
they're
carrots are
sweet.
amazing. I do love some carrots. Yeah. So I got asparagus in the oven, or not in the oven. It's out of the oven now.
Yeah,
I got
your meal is
asparagus.
going to be was cooked by you, but it will be delivered to you in approximately 20
Well,
minutes.
because the chicken, so the thing is, I got a little temperature thing, right? A little reader.
A meat thermometer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Because I like being able to, like, I hated having to thaw chicken and then cook it, right? So now what I do is I'll go straight from the freezer into the oven, and I'll do that till it's like about 110-ish. I can just check it, right? And then I'll do the last bit on the stovetop to brown it and like finish up the last like 50
Why don't
degrees.
you just take it out the night before?
Well, because I
Take it
don't.
out of the freezer and stick it in the fridge the night before. By the time you're ready to cook it,
Well, for one, I don't always know what I'm doing for dinner. Like I like the axis of it where I don't have to plan. I can just be like, oh shit, okay, throw this in the oven, put some fucking rice in the rice cooker, and then boom, I got a meal and some sort of veggie, right? Which I have frozen veggies or asparagus right now, or like canned veggies or something, and get a whole ass meal.
I guess, but I don't know. There's just to me something's off with frozen directly into the oven.
Well, I mean, it cooks all the way through. That's all that matters, right?
Sure.
And it's still juicy. It's good. It tastes good. Raw carrots
Although
and
I would
peanut
like to
butter.
bring up the fact that you can't time this so that you could have been done with your dinner
I
by
could
the
have,
time
but you
we
started
start.
conversation.
You started the conversation.
I did.
Yeah,
I
I
did
got
start
your
a
blood
conversation.
boiling today, apparently.
You didn't? No, I wasn't boiling. I don't think I would take a lot to get my blood boiling with a conversation with you.
Well, you got into it at least.
Well, yeah.
Enough that you didn't prep your chicken.
Well,
Although I don't, I'm not understanding what would have taken so long since you take it out frozen.
well, because then it takes longer to be in the oven. It's like 15 minutes in the oven and then like 10 minutes on the stove. And then I'd also had to like get the rice
15
going.
minutes in the oven. Are you eating one chicken nugget?
No, it's so I usually do like 3 chicken breasts, and then I make it for me and Knox, and then we'll split 1.5 each. I think it's around like
It's
probably
in the
10
oven for
ounces,
15 minutes.
and then 10 minutes on the stovetop, maybe 20.
know, man.
Listen, the
I
thermometer
don't know.
doesn't lie.
What's the temp of the oven?
Like 350, maybe 375, something like that. It's just enough to get it so the center is around
Is this a
110-ish.
special oven?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. And I don't know what planet an oven cooks chicken in 15 minutes.
Well, it's not cooking it all the way. It's only getting to 110. You have to get to 165 to cook it all the way.
Okay.
What do you mean, okay?
I don't know. I'm casting doubt a little bit on this whole procedure.
Well, do you think I'm eating raw chicken, or do you think the times are wrong?
Perhaps, yes.
I'm not. I have a temperature. I can't be raw.
What's the temp?
I cook it until there's internal temperature of 165.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, to me, that would be raw.
What do you mean to you?
I'm a
That's
180, 190.
That's kind of absurd. You know that, right?
I know it's absurd, but I don't care. That's what I like it at.
I don't like. There's no. Is it dry? I mean, I've asked you this 100 times. I just can't believe it's not just like mealy in your mouth.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
not. No, it's not like that. You're thinking of like dry pork. That's the worst, where you can't even swallow it.
Yeah.
It's so dry. It doesn't get like that.
Okay, well that's good at least. But chicken can get like that though, for sure.
Yes.
And I ain't got the saliva
I don't know,
glands.
not at 190. It's fine.
Do you measure it, or you just know your time?
Well, hey babe, it's in there for an hour at 375, sometimes 400.
You just assume science
mic's low.
works.
You better raise me up, kid.
What do you mean it's low?
I don't know. Is it low for anybody else? I just got it.
Well, it depends. It depends when you talk, because like sometimes you
right in front of my face.
Yeah, but you don't. But like you'll talk like this, and then you go like this, and then you go like this, and then you go like this.
Yeah, well, I don't normalize my volume, bro. I'm a regular person.
Well, how am I supposed to normalize your volume then?
I don't know. The sound controls. That's what sound controls do.
I can't normalize you. You're a
That's
weirdo.
A thing you can do, and you can do that.
Yeah, when you have a super serious
Davis. Anyway. I don't know. That's just the word on the street.
Let me juice you a little bit. How about that?
Okay, juice me up.
All right, but don't you start yelling then.
I can't make any guarantees once we really get into this podcast.
Oh, yeah? See, that is, yeah. Hold on, I'm looking at the levels when you talk. Wait, talk again?
Okay.
Yeah, see, that was a very clear talk compared to what you normally were talking.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Talk like that for the rest of the podcast. That's what I'm telling you.
I'll talk like this for the rest of the podcast.
Hello, welcome to our podcast. This is our normalized volume.
Okay. So I want to get into this right away, because this episode, there's going to be a lot of ranting by me.
I can't wait. Okay? I'm excited.
All right. So
okay, which one do you want to start with?
Well, what do you think? What's better here?
Wait, hold on. What is this? Oh, I pulled up the article you wanted to start with, and I have to sign up?
Oh, no, close it. Did it give you the paywall?
Thanks for reading the Times. Create your free account to log in to continue reading.
Oh, God. Okay. So here's the strat. Get the article title, copy it, and then paste it into Google and click it that way.
Okay.
And it should maybe work.
Oh, yeah. Instead of a direct link. Okay, we got it.
Okay. All right, bring it up. So I saw an article in the Times today.
Do you read the Times regularly?
No, I don't.
Here we go.
I don't read normie news altogether that often. My most normal news source would be like The Guardian, which we'll get to, which is where the second article's from. But these I just see on Twitter. I follow Editing the Gray Lady, and it's basically just a bot that like tweets whenever the title of an article is edited by the New York Times. Sometimes the edits are egregious, and sometimes they're just innocuous. But that's really where I see Times articles, or when people actually directly link them.
Wait, what did you say? The Gray Lady?
Yeah, that's what the New York Times is. That's one of the nicknames of the New York Times, the Gray Lady.
Is it? I've never heard that.
It's true.
I don't believe you. Prove this.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into the Gray Lady right now. Okay. So this article.
Okay.
What?
Never mind, never mind. You said we're not going to get into it. I just want to know why.
I'm not. No, we're not.
Okay, do you know why?
I'm denying that tangent. No, I don't know why it's called that, but it's called that.
Okay, we're done. Okay, I just want to know if you knew why.
Okay, so Biden administration asked Congress to reauthorize warrantless surveillance law. Already, it doesn't sound great. All right, already the headline. It's like, what are we doing here?
It's a bad
Okay,
start.
right? Okay, it's like it's critical. It's just off the headline alone. It sounds critical of Biden, right?
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so we drop down. Let's start reading.
I still can barely hear Dave.
Well, Jim, you gotta turn me up. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not in control of the volumes. Can I? Well, can I raise mine? That might.
That would help.
So.
I mean, I have you at 170%. I'm going to blow my
Bro,
eardrums
I'm
out.
gonna raise it up on Eagle's wings. That's a church hymnal.
Is
I
it?
was referencing there. Yeah.
You big churchgoer?
Input volume. It's max, bro.
Right, dude.
I can't get it higher.
I'm going to give you 185%, dude.
All right.
My earballs are going to bleed.
Juice me.
You are juiced.
Okay, scroll down on this article.
Okay.
You can't worry too much about the volume. We have to
progress.
soldier on.
Here's the thing. I didn't read this at all, so.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Was I supposed to?
You could have glanced at it, bro.
I read the title.
Talk about it on the podcast. What are you doing?
Well, I thought you wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, but it's okay for you to have input too. Whatever. You're real low, the lowest amount of effort I don't know why it surprises me constantly.
At some point, it's on you.
Okay. So in general, my stance is that more surveillance is bad, right? And I'm not really pro surveillance. Okay. And whenever it's warrantless, it implies that this is stuff they would previously have needed a warrant for, right? Because they were previously required some due process and now they're not, right?
So they can just literally start surveilling people for no reason. They don't need a reason.
But if you read the article, it's continue because the law is going to be expiring. It's already on the books and he wants it extended, right?
Who started it? Oh, Trump? Wait, what? Is this right?
Okay. Anyway. So here's the thing. So yeah, we're going to look at the second paragraph. The administration's effort is likely to face particular steep headwinds. Stop! What are you doing?
You are so delayed. I did that like 10 seconds ago.
Because many Republicans have adopted former President Donald J. Trump's distrust of security agencies and surveillance, bolstering privacy advocates who have long been skeptical of the law, known as Section 702, right? And here we have and I can't really read that much of the Times for its obvious. This is gonna be the most conservative thing you're gonna hear me say, but it has a very obvious liberal bias. Okay, but when you hear that, you think that's not coming from the right of the bias, right? That's coming from the left, right? It's too moderate, right? Like when I say liberal, I mean moderate. Okay. Like a moderate Democrat,
you're saying
right?
it's to the right of you?
Yes. Very much so.
Okay.
Okay. But the issue here, right, is that they're laying distrust for warrantless surveillance in the camp of Donald Trump. Like they're associating distrust for this law, right, as somehow being in league with Donald Trump, right? Like if you not just like, hey, this is Donald Trump also doesn't want this.
They're saying
right?
he's spearheading this.
Yeah, like, hey, this is what his group wants. You know what I mean?
Most people don't want it, but Trump, or most people do want it, but Trump doesn't.
Like, if you're a right-thinking person, it's okay to have this, to keep surveilling people, right? Without
By right, you mean correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, whatever. And anyway, and it just really rubbed me the wrong way because it's like, well, why are we okay with surveillance? Who's okay with it?
Well,
right?
Mainstream media?
Obviously moderate Democrats and absolutely just moderate Democrats and probably moderate Republicans as well, right?
Wait, I understand. So you think further left and further right don't want it, but moderates left and right do want it?
Yes. This is one
Huh.
of those weird points where like
The middle
the
wants to put
extremes
that.
agree on this, right?
That's
Yes.
crazy.
Because from the far conservative line, right, they're going to argue from like a small government um angle, right?
Yeah.
That they don't want the federal government doing these
Having
sorts
that
of
kind of
things.
power. Yeah.
Sure. But from the progressive side, it's like, well, you can't just do this willy-nilly. You can't just collect data on everybody because you never do it. Because that sort of power is never not abused. You can never use it as it's intended. And the point is, it's not being used as it's intended because it's warrantless.
I don't understand. So, who you think moderates actually support this?
Yes. How do you think this got passed in the first place?
I don't know. They snuck it in on some cheeky bullshit. Isn't that what they always do? They just sneak shit in. I don't know, man. But the thing is, even if it did first get in, like, it's not like moderates are. There's an overwhelming amount of moderates, right? Isn't it pretty fucking polarized?
No, that's almost the entirety of Congress.
Is what
Or
moderate?
yeah.
I thought the whole shebang was how polarized everything is.
Yes, it's polarized and the same all at the same time.
Polarized and not at the same time.
Yes, there's some things that there's a few issues in which they're polar opposites, but then there's tons of things they also just generally agree on, like expanding the budget of the military.
How does that happen? Okay, well, I don't understand this
We're
shit.
not going to get into that.
I don't understand it. Okay, so why is it known as Section 702? Is that just what they're calling the Trump thing?
That's the law.
Oh, that's the law. Oh my god. When did this
The
first come
section
in?
that I don't know. You know what? It would have been great if you had just kind of scanned the article.
Well, apparently you didn't scan either because you don't know when it started either. Mm-hmm. There's no way to replicate Section 7 as a speed relay. Dude,
I'm going to let that one go.
yeah, yeah.
I'm going to let it go.
you gotta pace yourself for the whole.
Enacted in 2008.
So it was Obama that did it. Oh no, it was Bush. Wait, secretly started after the terrorist attack of September 11th. It continues to be a counterterrorism tool. You think that's just a guise?
So, yeah, okay. What ended up happening, like this is all the shit that ended up where they called James Clapper in front of, you don't even know who James Clapper is. I can't get political that much here because you just don't know anybody.
Sure.
Anyway.
Do I need to know him? Is he pivotal to the conversation?
Kind of.
Okay, James Clapper.
Anyway, he came and testified before Congress that he lied, and then it later admitted he was lying, right?
Under oath?
That we weren't gathering American data, right?
Okay.
So I think in 2008 they made this whole wiretapping, the warrantless wiretapping legal instead of being like, hey, we can't do this anymore. It's like, no, let's just pass a law that allows this.
Did he get in trouble for that?
No, he's a fucking contributor on CNN or MSNBC or one of them.
I don't understand why it feels like I feel like I constantly read about how people they lie under oath in front of Congress and shit, and then there's like no repercussions ever. Isn't that supposed to be like straight illegal? Like you just like go to jail?
It is. It just depends on who you are.
Well, that seems like bullshit.
If you were the head of the FBI or the CIA, they allow that.
I don't understand that. I don't understand. Like that seems like a huge red flag.
Yeah, it's because the law is enforced selectively, bro.
Yeah, us and them.
Anyway, I wanted to point this out because it really irked me, okay?
Yeah.
But we didn't get to the big topic of today, okay? You ready for the next article?
Oh, we're going to the next one already?
Yeah, we are. Unless you got something to say.
Nothing. It's just bullshit. I don't understand. I don't know. You don't
understand. You didn't parse it. You didn't come up with your own opinions.
No,
That's
but the
fine.
thing is, it's not even about that. It's just like, this seems like the same shit over and over. Like, the government does stupid shit, people lie, and then nothing happens. It just keeps happening. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And it's exhausting to try to keep up with all the stupid bullshit.
It is exhausting. That's why people
How do you do it?
Selectively and with copious amounts of video games in between.
Okay, let me go to where is this one?
I can't I can't just be angry all the time. It just doesn't work.
Well, it's
Okay,
hard.
we're
Yeah.
gonna take a hard left. We're gonna it's not a tangent really. We're just gonna take a hard left. We're
Is it
gonna leave
left or
politics
right?
at the floor on the floor.
Here we go.
Um, I want to talk about cosplay.
Oh boy.
And before so my stance on cos, don't scroll or anything, just leave it
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. My stance on cosplay is that by and large, it's fine. It's people dressing up. It can be cool,
Yeah.
right? It's fine. But for the by and large, it's very attractive women showing off their body with skimpy outfits, right? It's not just like, hey, let me find these, particularly attractive women in video games, but let me gender swap Indiana Jones, or whatever. I don't know.
And pull my
It's
tits
just
out a
like,
little bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. And that's fine. I mean, I'm not, not a fan of titillation, but it's like let's not pretending we're doing high art here, okay?
Well,
So the thing is, I like cosplay. I like when the costumes are like elaborate and cool or like really on point, or
sure.
like they are portrayed really artistically, like, someone put time and effort into the shot,
Right. You want something
and the
that's
frame,
artistic and
yes, exactly.
yeah.
Um, so anyway, I'm looking at, and I want to say that like I am because we're gonna get into this. I like the idea of different body types in cosplay because I think it's so like dominated by a certain one body type, really,
Well,
right?
let me ask this. What do you mean by that? So you want so you want like, different body types, but you still want it to be attractive, or are you saying that like
Not
anything
necessarily,
goes?
no, because that's the thing. It's like I have a stance that pretty people just kind of ruin everything. It's like
But isn't that also
they
why you
gotta
like
come
it?
in and be attractive, and it's like, yeah, it's great, but it's like, okay, let's just enjoy the costumes.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying you like wait, I don't understand. So you don't like that it's dominated by pretty people?
Correct.
But at the same time, like you do like it when
I
there's a
understand the
hot fucking
popularity of it.
widowmaker.
I understand why
Why?
attractive people are the most popular cosplayers.
Right, because it's just
You
a different kind
understand?
of modeling.
Yes, yes, it's just modeling,
Right.
right?
It's a different kind of
But
modeling for sure.
there seems to be a sort of veneer of like, "Hey, I do this for the love of the cosplay." It's like, well, I'm not sure about that, but I'm gonna cast doubt, but maybe. You know
Well,
what I mean? I
I
don't
think
know.
at the very least a lot of them are at least intrigued by video games so that they're like kind of inspired
Yeah,
that
that's
direction.
fine. It's just it's whatever.
And
But
they
the
also
thing
couldn't get hired at
is that
Victoria's Secret.
the point is that there's space here for people to showcase different
Yeah,
people's different bodies, right? It's fine.
right.
Okay. So anyway, I was looking at the Guardian and I saw a pictorial of of cosplayers, right? Okay. So we let's scroll a little.
Okay. Oh yeah, sure. You want to keep going, or I don't know what kind of
I
delay
need
you
to
got.
stop on every picture. I'm delayed. I'm
Yeah,
looking at your
yeah.
screen,
Okay,
bro.
okay.
Okay, so we have some Wonder Women. This is fine.
Some
This is
some
cool.
some uh some black Wonder
These
Women.
are black
Yep.
Women, and like, I'm, whatever. I don't care what color the character is. If you want to be that character, be that character. That's all good.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
And also, I don't know why Wonder Woman. She comes from like an isle. I don't know why she's that white anyway, right? Like her canon character. But fine. She's from like a Greek island, right?
Oh, is she?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Was she
I
supposed to be
don't know.
like the
I don't
queen of the
give a shit about
Amazons, right, or
details
some
on
shit
this.
like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which how does that work? How are Amazons like even in like Diablo, like the Amazon, right?
Yeah, it's because white is the default for most people.
No, no,
That's
no, it's
why.
not that. I don't understand what when I think Amazon, I think of the Amazon rainforest, Amazon, river. How is that? What does Amazon mean, or why is it being used as like this warrior?
Um, I don't know. I don't know what Amazonian is originally refers to,
I don't get it.
but I think it's mixed up in like the Isle of Lesbos and all that stuff as
Lesbos,
well. Yeah,
like
that's where
lesbians?
the word lesbian comes from.
Is it?
Yes.
So lesbians are like Amazonian?
No. 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 We're not gonna do a deep dive on the Isle of Lesbos, bro.
Come on, it'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah, but not today.
All right. So we ready to go on the next one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now again, again, I want to say I am all for more body types, okay? But when I came across this picture, I had questions. All right? And my one of my biggest questions is why is she on the ground? Okay? Well, like, look at this photo. Okay? The two things that stick out to me is that she's laying on the ground and she's got a cigarette in her hand.
Very seductively
And it's
on the
like, what are
ground.
we doing here? Like, first off, this is a pose that belongs on top of a piano in a smoky jazz club. Okay?
That's
Why are
exactly what
we
it
on the
looks
ground?
like.
Okay? And why are we smoking? This looks like the lowest effort thing I've ever seen. Okay?
God,
It's just like, what are we doing here?
we're being super judgmental, but let me just say this, okay? This looks like, is this rude? I don't even know. It looks kind of like a hillbilly Mystique.
I, maybe.
Smoking a
It
cigarette
just
on the
doesn't
ground? What is happening?
it I don't yes, that's what I mean. I don't know why this is like what are we focusing here? What is this shot for? So
Maybe this is more the photographer's job, like
this
display.
but the thing is that the character itself has the potential to bring up a good point, right? Because Mystique, yeah, the presentation isn't great.
Yeah,
So
100%.
the
That's
thing
what it
is
is.
Mystique is can be interesting, and I think in the movies they kind of made her more interesting than in the comics, although I'm not a huge like comic
You're
head,
gonna
so
get
I
run
don't
over
know
by comic
specifically,
nerds.
right? But in the movies, she has like texture to her skin, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like scaly or whatever,
yeah.
and it produces like a different reaction because in the comic book, she's just really hot but blue. You know what I mean? Like she's a very attractive woman because every woman in comic books is incredibly attractive, and but she just has blue skin, smooth blue skin, right?
Well, the dudes are attractive too, right?
Well, yeah, for the most part, but you still got the Blob, and whatever, and all the others.
I'm sure there's some unattractive women in
Beast.
comics, right?
Yeah,
Beast is
okay,
attractive
but
in a different way, dude.
by and large, they're created that way. You understand what I'm saying? Like the heroic proportions and the whatnot and everything. Like that's the
Right, that's
point of
the
them.
idea of it, right? That's
Yeah,
what they're
but
going for.
anyway,
Okay, yeah.
but anyway, it's more interesting to me if she was not attractive in her base form, right? Because then she's playing off we're playing with the idea of like who are you trying to be and who you really are versus blah blah blah, like
Oh,
expectations.
you want the
Like
ugly shapeshifter?
are you aspiring to be different or whatnot? You know what I mean? Like that would be more interesting, but it doesn't happen like that because, she's just hot, whatever form you get, right?
What was the
And even in the movie, she's what? She was Rebecca Romaine and
Oh yeah, she was hot for sure.
Jennifer
Lawrence,
Lawrence.
J Law. I
Anyway,
forgot about that. Yeah, she is. The thing is, what was wasn't there a whole story where who was she crushing on? And she was like, "I'll be anyone you want." Blah blah blah.
I don't know.
Didn't you watch the movies?
I did, but it was a long time ago.
You remembered the actresses.
Yes.
All right, what else have we got
Any-
here?
Anyway, okay, let's finish this and then I'll circle back to
Circle
this
back now.
picture. I just don't know why they're doing this. That was the one that stood out to me. We have some Sailor Moons. Fine.
They look sad.
I like how they're bored
Yeah, they look.
because Sailor Moons are always kind of like high energy, and this was just like, yeah, all right, whatever.
But how did they pick these? Shut up. See, there's a bunch of C3POs.
No, this I like this one because this I don't know where it's from, but I'm pretty sure this is like an album cover.
Oh,
They're
really?
referencing something here, and I don't know what it is. I thought it was a Devo album cover, but I looked at like all the Devo album covers I could find, and I couldn't. I couldn't find a match, but I swear I've seen something like this before.
But
So this is cool. I like this because this has they're doing something
is
here.
this
You know what
actually
I
a
mean?
person in here?
I don't know. It says cosplay, so I'm gonna believe it is.
Is this 4 people cosplaying? Is this one guy like taking multiple pictures?
I don't know.
I can't imagine 3 dudes are like, or 4 dudes are like, hey,
I'm
let's all get the
assuming it's
exact
one
same fucking
guy
cosplay.
doing 4 different poses, and they're just throwing the picture together.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
But anyway, I don't know exactly where this is from, but I would it's like at the tip of my brain, I think. Okay, keep going.
Oh, classic, classic Harley Quinn.
Yeah, here we go. This is like what we imagine cosplay to be, right?
Yeah, yeah, cute girl in a Harley Quinn.
Yeah. And I the Harley Quinn outfit has enabled is an enabler, quote unquote, because all you need to do is buy the T-shirt and have fishnet stockings. You know what I mean? It's an
It's a low
incredibly
cost.
easy costume to put together. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But anyway,
Plus,
it's
then
fine.
you
That's
just
what
get
you want to be. If you like it, go for it. I'm not
oh for
saying no.
sure. But
All right.
it's I don't
I don't have
even
much to say on it.
this pose is interesting too for Harley Quinn, don't you think?
Well, I think it kind of goes along more like I don't know, more with like the cartoon they recently did where she's, trying to make a
Bang
go
Ivy.
on the straight and narrow, yeah. Which,
Wait,
you know
is that
what?
what she's
Good
trying to
for her,
do?
I would too. Yeah, she gets out of jail or whatever,
Have you watched it?
and
I've never seen it.
no, I didn't watch the episodes,
Oh.
and excuse me. Yeah, and they're just trying to make a straight go of it, and Poison Ivy's dying.
What do you mean she's dying in this
She's like
show?
has yeah, she's not I don't know, she has some sort of plant disease. She's not
Oh,
making it.
bro, she's got that. She's got the leaf rot.
Yeah, something like
She
that.
got root rot, bro.
She got that white elm or white oak or whatever.
Oh no, dude. She's got a little. She needs some insecticide.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, what's with the milk? She's got milk. He's got milk. Everyone's got milk.
Well, they're growing. That does a body good. I don't know. This
So much milk.
cool. Whichever Spider-Man he's going, I think from the spider on the front, he's going for Miles Morales, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. Did you watch Into the Spider-Verse and all that?
Yeah, it was awesome.
I haven't seen it. I keep wanting to, and I just
Oh my god!
never
Well,
do.
turn it on, bro. There's nothing stopping you from loading it up on Netflix.
Oh, I got milk. That is true. I do got milk.
All right, keep going.
Is
Let's
this
get through these.
Sindal or Syndra?
Yeah, I think it's Syndra.
Yeah, it is League of
Right?
Legends Syndra. It's interesting because I always thought that Syndra has such a Sindal vibe from Mortal Kombat, right? Is that her name, Sindal?
I don't know. I don't know who you're referring to.
Damn it,
I know a bunch of Mortal Kombat characters, but that's not one of them.
Sindel. Here it is.
Anyway,
Right here, dude. Tell me this isn't fucking Syndra. It's kind of got a Reyna vibe too, actually. This one literally looks like Reyna.
yeah, but she doesn't have the helmet. That's the giveaway that it's Syndra.
Okay, well, Syndra can't take the helmet off, or
Well,
Sindel can't
it's
put it.
yeah, but not in there. In the photo, it not
Oh,
whatever.
here,
Man.
yeah, I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying
Anyway, I like this one. I don't know exactly why it's in the bathtub. I don't understand
because
that
you know what
particularly,
it
but
is. She's
that the ball, yeah, they
her balls are
want
bath bombs, dude.
yeah. Oh, okay.
I don't know. I made that up just now.
Oh,
It sounds good, but then you'd think they do some like bubbles in there or something, right?
yeah, I don't know. But the way they do the ball is cool. If you look hard enough, you can see that there's a tether
I'm
from
really
her finger to the
confused.
ball.
I'm really confused. Where does the water come out on this bath?
I don't know.
There's like no
Yeah,
fucking.
okay. You're posing some good questions that I didn't see at first glance. But, fine. The posing's a little weird, but maybe you're trying to make it seem like she's just like casual Syndra,
Yeah,
because she's always literally floating and talking about power and all this other nonsense. But here she's just getting into the bath fully clothed. But
yeah, she's
fine.
dumping balls, dude.
Go ahead.
Okay.
What do we got? We
Oh,
almost done? How
Ursula.
many you got left?
I don't know. Got all the time in the world, my man.
Okay, here's Ursula, right? On a bed, so it's okay. We're lying down. We're on something that you would lie down on. It's blue. I think maybe are we going for an under the sea type vibe? I don't know.
I'm gonna say something.
But fine. It looks fine. It's fine. The body paint is a little uneven, but
I'm not. I'm
whatever.
not. I don't have a problem with the unevenness. It kind of gives it a little texture, right?
Oh, yeah, sure. Like it's modeled a little bit, which would,
But
better.
what's weirding me out a little bit is this whole scene feels like
It looks like a funeral. It looks like she's
no.
in a
To
casket.
me, it feels like a motel room, and like you've got yourself like a little Ursula hooker.
Oh, maybe. I don't.
It
Maybe the
doesn't. It
curtains
gives me
aren't
that
great.
vibe.
I don't know about the yeah. The curtains give it that feel, I guess, a
Curtains
little
and
bit.
whatever this little chair thing over here is. Seedy. Yeah. Ooh, good word.
Sure.
All right.
Which whatever, I don't know what they're going I honestly don't know what they're going for here. I can tell that the sheet is there so that her purpleness doesn't get on whatever she's laying on. But you know
Maybe
what?
she
Take
was
your
trying to make it look
precautions.
more underwatery. The sheet, the
Yeah,
lights and stuff.
hopefully.
Wicked Witch of the West. Ooh, this is interesting. Approaching the car and everything.
Yeah, this one's cool.
Yeah, got a big old work. Good for her. Oh, Aquaman.
Yeah, this is a bathroom selfie, right?
I don't know. Listen, I don't. I know, like we already said, like inclusivity, right? The different body types, but
Sure.
he just looks so undaunting. And it's probably just because I have what's his name, the actor for the actual Aquaman. He's just so fucking huge.
Yeah.
Momoa, yeah, Jason Momoa. He's so
Yeah,
fucking
but the thing
big.
is the framing of this picture is it doesn't do this guy any justice. I think he probably is muscular
Oh, you think so?
somewhat, not,
Yeah. Well,
Jason
he's not
Momoa
you and
size.
me, but
Yeah, compared to you.
yeah, he's no you and
I
me.
mean, we put you in an Aquaman costume, and it's like, okay.
This guy isn't doing anything to save the world. This guy's walking around like a matchstick.
Yeah, you have to change your name to Driftwood, But it would be better than me trying to be Aquaman, that's for sure.
Wait, okay, hold on. Maybe we should do. Wait, what would be the most absurd cosplays we could do where we're just like so out of place for that character? That'd be fun. We could do. Maybe we'll do that for
What
Halloween or
would I
something
do?
one year.
He-Man? I do Conan the Barbarian.
That'd be good.
I mean, obviously, ignoring, doing a female character, which I
Yeah.
think would be ridiculous across the board. But yeah.
Wait, why would that be ridiculous?
Well, I mean, any female character wouldn't work. Like imagine me as Jessica Rabbit, like it's automatically ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, but they do gender bender cosplays all the time, right?
Yes, they do, but
Only if they're
okay.
sexy.
But I'm saying me being a female character, it automatically lends itself a ridiculousness that
Yeah.
that we can't really compare to
That it's not
a male
about
one.
you being the
Right.
ridiculous
Because
thing.
I can be who can I be? Krillin, Like I can be Krillin. I think that's where I'm at
Krillin Mane,
body
okay.
type wise. Yeah.
I don't
And
know what I would have to do. Who's not a twig?
You're tall enough to be a lot. Yeah, you're tall and skinny enough to be a lot of different things.
Right, but so
You could do the Flash. The Flash isn't built,
no, but who would be ridiculous? I need someone that's like short and plump.
We're built.
Yeah, but that's every.
Yeah,
no one.
Not that ridiculous.
No. It's not ridiculous because no one's fucking built like those guys are. There's not one person in our friend group that would be like, yeah, that makes sense. He's ripped.
I don't know. The thing is, it's like it's hard to pick somebody. Like the thing is, I would normally say something like Wolverine, right? But
For
Hugh
you?
Jackman's Wolverine, and because no, for you,
Oh, okay, yeah.
because Wolverine's canonically in the comic, at least, he's 5'3".
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. He's a little.
Yeah, he's short.
He's a little rapscallion.
Which is the reason that that Wolverine was my favorite growing up.
And then
Right?
you
Because
got
you
Hugh
had your little
Jackman.
Marvel trading cards when you were a kid, and they all had their stats on the back and whatnot. I was like, oh, this motherfucker's 5'3". Nice.
And yeah, okay, someone bald would be good for me too.
Yeah, well,
I'd look
yeah, with all that
ridiculous in a
hair.
bald cap, bro.
I don't know. I'd have to really we'd have to really search to find some.
What about the Blob? Is he bald?
No, but would that matter? He's gigantic. You know what? The Juggernaut. I think that would be good.
Can you imagine if he dressed up as the Juggernaut?
Yeah, you just have this gigantic helmet which just doesn't
Actually,
fit for the rest of your
it's
body.
hilarious. Yeah, it's hilarious because it really accentuate how big my head is compared to my body. Whereas on him, it's like the big helmet, but it's still pretty small on his
Yeah,
body because
because
he's
he's
so
got the
ripped.
yeah, he has those iron bands around his arms, and it's like your iron bands around the arms would be like, "What are we doing here?"
It honestly, I'd probably look like Dark Helmet. I'd start looking like
Yeah,
that.
something
I'd look like a
that
fucking
would be good.
bobblehead.
That
Oh,
would be
Aang
good.
for Dave. Okay,
Yeah, I could be
you
Aang,
could
I
do that.
guess.
Yeah.
I've never watched Avatar, so I don't it doesn't really pop on my radar.
What's going on here with the teddy bear? Is that a reference to the character? Or is that
I
just?
don't know. But this guy smoking makes sense because the character is a smoker.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
There's still something weird about. I don't like. Maybe I just don't know the character. But like, what is this setting? It's like this looks like my grandma's bedroom.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pump and repump.
I don't know. I don't know. I just don't understand some of these and why we're putting them on a website that's seen globally.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
quite understand this one either. Why is he on the ground? Again, this is a question I keep coming back to. Why are they on the ground
Well, they're
in
always.
front of his Camry or whatever it is?
Yeah. Well, nothing screams. Nothing screams Star Wars to me like seeing that Toyota Camry.
I just I just wanna see, it's like I don't pretend to understand art, right? But I get a sense of when something is saying
Fits and when it
something.
doesn't.
Right, and this just is like, what are we saying here? Because it's like it's not like he's under the hood fixing something where you might like make a I don't know, where you might be able to say something. He's just lying there.
The only thing I can think of is like there might be like like references that we just don't understand, right? Like
No, I
maybe
get that, but I'm really struggling to see what this could be a reference of.
I don't know. Fighter pilot down, dude.
In front of a house with 2 cars.
It's trying to say that the soldiers lost in the fight for uh freedom in the galaxy were just regular Joes. They came from the middle class families. It's a double meaning. They're talking about soldiers.
No, it's trash.
What is this? I don't like this because I can't even see the costume. It's just her face. I don't know this anime or whatever this is from. Kakeguru's Karari Momobami.
I don't know either.
I can't see it. Oh boy. Oh, Oren High School Host Club. Sure. What's going on with that makeup? Is that what the character has?
Probably.
She only had
But
time to do her
it
face.
as a photograph, it's fine. As cosplay, it's fine. I don't know what the authenticity is, but it's they're not lying on the ground.
Yeah, that's a plus. I thought there was a special guest. We were gonna do one with Miss Merck, but Miss Merck had previous
Dodger.
engagements.
Yeah, she's at a spa or something, and you know what? Bless her heart.
I
Get
wish
your
I was at
cuticles
one.
managed or whatever. I don't know. Never been to a spa, so
Listen, when we get big enough, we'll do a podcast from the spa. Wouldn't that be
from the
sick?
spa, sure.
Yeah.
We'll have to give our play-by-play.
We're gonna get a couples massage together.
Okay, now I'm naked.
First time seeing Stassel's dong. He's very well endowed.
Comment. Yeah, we keep moving. Keep moving.
Okay. So that's the end of it. We got Honey from Oron High School Host Club.
Okay. So yeah, that's my little stance on cosplay. I just didn't the mystique. I just didn't understand it. I still think about it,
Yeah, it's haunting
because
you,
it's
isn't
like,
it?
what are we doing here? We
It's
can do better.
haunting. I blame the photographer, dude.
Yeah, I don't.
Because honestly, the cosplay isn't bad, right?
Well, yeah, it's just blue make. I mean, the face makeup's good.
Right.
I mean, it's just a bodysuit,
You're right.
right?
I'm assuming that this person put the print on themselves, or can you pre?
Even if they had help, what does it matter? It looks good.
Well,
It's
I
well
mean, it wasn't
textured.
pre-bought. Like, I don't think you can buy a bodysuit. Well, maybe you can. I don't fucking know.
Okay, so another thing that I really just noticed, but it needs to be pointed out, right?
Okay.
Because she's on the ground and she's got the cigarette and it lends itself just a nonchalant air to it. Instead of and her hand isn't technically on her hip. It looks like she's picking a wedgie out of her
It
ass.
does. Yeah, it looks like she's doing a little butthole exploration there.
I don't know. It could have been better. All right.
But again,
That's it.
but I think this is the photographer's like mistake,
Yeah,
not
I mean,
her.
yes, I
Like,
get I
hey,
get it.
lady, bring your hand to the front or put out that cigarette.
Ideally, there'd
Stand
be a
up.
bajillion of those photos being taken, right? Like, they'd have taken a bunch. Why did we pick this one?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Alright,
Maybe they liked the
let's close
lighting
her
or they
up.
thought it was cool. I don't know. Sometimes the butthole needs to be explored, Moonrise says. Okay.
Okay.
Sheesh.
Probably not on The Guardian, but fine.
You ever explore your butthole, Stas?
No. Can't say I have.
What was that pause for?
I don't know, I gave it some real thought. How about that?
Like, okay, have I ever? Yeah, the closest I get to that is washing my crack. The shower. Just to clean, right?
You
Yeah.
never had to take a peek?
What? Did I have to peek?
Your doctor.
No. No.
Oh.
My mom did one time. You know that story though.
Well, that wasn't the hole. That was
Well, no, but it was close. It was close.
Oh, yeah. There was a time, everybody, a moment in our lives years ago in our halcyon days when we would sit at the computer and chat and play video games. And in one such time, our friend, Cesarza, aka Debaser,
The base
discovered he had a tick. Not a tick as in
Twitch.
an eye tick or a facial tick. No, a literal tick that was attached to his body, and it was on his ass. And
Here,
he had to
here the thing is, okay. So this is gonna be like a little TMI. So whatever.
I'm ready.
First off, I don't even know how I fucking got it. Like, I am such an indoor person. Like, I ain't gone out for like a fucking week. It blew my mind, right? And you know what it was? It's probably that little fucking cat we had, Monty. Love that bastard, but I bet he dragged that shit in. And so so I was going to the bathroom, and I went to wipe my butt, and there was some resistance, and I'm like, what's going on here? And I thought for sure, I'm like, this is a fucking dingleberry. Which I don't. Do people know what dingleberries are? Yeah, right.
Yes.
And I'm like,
It's
dude,
toilet paper stuck to your ass hair. Why do you have to just say it? Okay,
wait,
go
toilet
ahead.
paper? I thought it was poop.
It's poop and toilet paper combined, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't know, either, both. It doesn't matter.
Okay, fine, whatever.
So I'm sitting, I'm like, this is gross. Like, what the fuck? So I go to like try to wipe it off. It doesn't wipe off. I go to pinch it with my toilet paper and try to pull it off. I'm like, ow! Right? I'm like, fuck, this hurts. And I'm like, what is going on, dude? This is like the grodiest fucking dingleberry ever. And like after a couple times of pulling, I'm like, I can't, like, this hurts. Like, I need help. I need help. And I was like, I don't know, like 18 at the time. And I'm like,
Right.
hey, mom, I need your help.
Was
Well,
there any thought
actually, no.
being like, who do I call in?
No, it has to be mom. Like, I'm not calling. Who else am I? The thing is, first I tried doing a fucking mirror. Okay, so imagine Bass with his pants down, legs up in the air, trying to fucking look at a mirror to see what's going on down there.
Mirror. Yeah.
It wasn't great. I couldn't see shit. I mean, it was just dark and like blurry. So I'm like, yeah, that's a fucking dingleberry,
Yeah,
but something's going on here.
Fish.
And yeah, and so we got Mama Bear in there, and it's embarrassing. It's a little embarrassing as an adult to have that happen, you know?
Did she have to light a match and burn it off?
I don't remember what we did, because the thing is, Okay, so like maybe like a year later, I got another tick. And those are like the only 2 ticks I had my entire life. That one was on my calf though. I was able to self-service that one. But I like when that happened, obviously I was like worried about getting like a
Lyme
fucking
disease
disease
or
or some
whatever.
shit,
Yeah.
yeah. Which I didn't go to the doctor, but there wasn't any symptoms or anything, so I assume it's fine. But so I was looking up how to deal with it, right? And there's a bunch of different methods. There's like the match, like you said, right? You light the match and you hold it to it, and it's supposed to be warm enough that it backs out or whatever. There's also like the Vaseline method, because supposedly if you Vaseline around it, it like makes it so it can't breathe, so it has to pull out. That one didn't seem to work for us. I think I end up doing one where like you take a Q-tip and you just kind of like swirl it around in a circle, and eventually it comes out, and you just have to make sure that the head comes out with it, and you're fine. Also, neither of them were engorged, so I must have got them pretty early.
That's good.
Yeah, because I think once they're engorged, like what happens is like they'll like suck out blood and then like spit it back in and like suck it out, and that's when you can get the fucking diseases. So usually, if they're not as engorged, it's a lower chance. Or something like that.
Backwash? You tell
Yeah.
me ticks are backwashing?
Yeah, they're backwashing into you, I think. Yeah,
God, gross.
something like that, or
Luckily,
they're
I've been
spitting saliva
tick-free.
in there, some shit. It's gross. It's fucking gross,
2 to
dude.
nothing, you're up on me, and keep it up.
Wait, what?
That's a contest I'm happy to lose.
Yeah. Have you never had a tick?
0 ticks, you're at 2.
Yeah. Ticks and fucking, I don't know what it is. For the longest time, every summer I would get poison ivy. Poison ivy just fucking, I was like a magnet to me.
You just said you don't go out. Well, how did that happen?
Dude, it's like the 1 or 2 times I would go out in the summer, it was terrible. Like, so the first time I got it, we were paintballing. I was paintballing with
just run
Jevo.
towards any bush?
Apparently, well, the paintball made sense because we went to this field to go paintball, and it was like a overgrown field, and I'd never had poison ivy before. I never had ticks before, so I didn't know the dangers of when I was young. I fucking was out in the out all the time.
With your booty shorts.
I no, like when I was young, I was like very outdoorsy. Like I ran around. I would go fishing, and we had forts. Like we built forts in the woods, and we were in tall grass and all that shit all the time.
Your first tick was at 18, so
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how I lasted that long without poison ivy or ticks or any of these issues until 18. When I at that point, I mean, I was probably like 15 or 16. I became a fucking nerd and just never went outside anymore. But yeah, we went paintballing, and all of a sudden I came home and I'm just scratching away, and it was fucking terrible because I didn't know what it was. I had never experienced before, and as you scratch it, if you scratch it a lot before, so I don't know if you know this, right? So poison ivy operates on the oil from the plant, right? And so if you scratch it before you wash the oil away, you're just spreading the oil around, and it's gonna hit you more and more, right? And that happened the first time, and my fucking, like, I'm not joking, it's like it was like both my legs from like shin to thigh, it's just pure blisters and whatever gross shit, rashes. And I remember I'd sit in the shower with a rag, just like rubbing my thighs forever because it just like felt so good to itch it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds weird. I don't know where I was going with. Oh,
yeah, I mean neither. But keep going.
All I'm saying is it sucks getting poison. Have you ever had it?
No.
Must be fucking nice,
Here's
bro.
the deal. I was more of an indoor child than you were. Okay. In
Well,
fact,
you also lived in the city.
I was afraid of getting dirty.
What? That explains so much.
And oftentimes she would get pissed if I got dirty. I had a whole set of trucks. The brand was called Digger Dan, and it was like all these like industrial trucks, and some were like battery powered, and they would, they could pick up dirt and move it around and do all this, like they were meant to be played with in the dirt or sand or whatever, right?
Yeah, but you're like, no.
My Digger Dan trucks never even went outside. Okay?
Yeah, well, you gotta keep them pristine.
Only.
Yeah, that explains why you like.
One time I was outside and I got muddy. Right, it was muddy out, and I got muddy, and I go in to wash my hands in the sink, and there's like dirt all over the sink.
Yeah,
and I almost panicked. I'm like, oh, my mom's gonna get pissed.
It explains why you like your chicken at 190 degrees.
She didn't.
It seems like there's a direct link.
So no, I never got poison ivy. I do go into the woods once a year.
Yeah. But you probably more on paths and stuff?
Yeah, it's in a cabin, and I don't go into the woods.
Oh, it's in a cabin? I thought you tented it.
No, hell no. I'm not going tent camping. I'm not I'm glamping, bro.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I
Um,
like toilets.
yeah, sure. Actually, what's funny is, so I used to get that poison ivy like once a year, right? And so after like having it like 5, 6 years in a row, I became like it's just like I was traumatized by it, right? I'm just like every time I go anywhere, if I'm out in nature, I'm like, oh shit, dude, like don't brush up against shit. Like, oh, that look is that poison ivy? I'd always say shit like this, right? I'd be like kind of be like a little paranoid about it, right? And everyone
Sure.
would always make like my family, if we're doing shit or whatever, they'd like kind of like rib me and be like, oh, you're so like paranoid, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, okay.
And
So
then you'd get it, and then they would be like, "Whoa, blah, blah, blah," right?
well, no,
You
this okay.
pissed
So
at them a
here's the
little
good.
bit.
Okay, so my cousin came up one. He lives in Texas. He came up one summer and he would always joke about it. And and we were going around this like this nature park or whatever, and we were just goofing around. He was doing stupid shit. It was kind of like back when I guess like nature shores were kind of more popular or whatever. I don't even know why I'm saying that. They're always popular. But he was doing these things where he'd be like, kind of like mocking it, and like he'd do like a little Snapchat of like, oh, look at here, we've got a special leaf, and
Who's he? Who are we talking
this is
about again?
my cousin Josh,
Okay, okay, okay.
Jay Boner. I think he's in chat sometimes.
Yeah.
And so he's fucking around just grabbing leaves and like doing this, like, oh, you throw one out and you get the bunny rabbits or whatever, just doing stupid shit. And that night, that like the thing is, it's hot out, right? So it's sweaty, and he was constantly like like scratching where it's sweaty because it was a little itchy or whatever. And then by the end of the fucking night, he had that oil he had it up on like the crown of his head, like all along his hairline, because he had kind of longer hair on top, and he would always like brush it back. He had it on like on his like tramp stamp area because the sweat accumulated down there, and he would like rub it, and then all of a sudden a little bit got there, and it just started itching. So he just like it was everywhere, all over his fucking body, behind his knees, on his arms. He had it everywhere. And then he fucking went back. He went back to Texas, and he had it for like 2 weeks at that point. So he ended up going to the doctors, and the doctor's like, dude, this is bad. Like, this is one of the worst cases I've ever seen of poison ivy. How long have you had it? And he's like, yeah, like 2 or 3 weeks. And they're like, yeah, you should have came in a long time ago. Like, this is bad. And they gave him like steroids and shit. And whatever. And I was like, yes, part of me was like, haha, that's funny. But also I sympathize with you, but also like just desserts, you fucker. And then the second time it happened, my dad was also very outdoorsy. More so when he was younger, before he had kids, like he went hunting and shit like that. And he never had issues with poison ivy, which I guess actually a good portion of the population doesn't have, because it's an allergy, right? It's technically an allergy. And there is a portion of the population that doesn't get affected by it. And so I was with him, and he was in his garden, weeding his garden, right? And he was just taking shit out and throwing it like he does every year. And I'm like, Dad, I think this is poison ivy. He's like, no, it's not. It's fine, whatever, right? And he's like just throwing it, whatever. And he ended up getting poison ivy so bad on both of his hands. His hands were like massively swollen. Like he couldn't even bend his fingers. He couldn't even bend his fingers. And like he would come home, like, so he'd go to work, and I remember like this was for like a week or two. He'd come home and he'd sit on the couch watching his show, and he'd just rub his hands together like this, right? You can't see it, but he'd just rub his hands together forever because it felt so good to itch him by rubbing his hands together. And it was just so, I was like, yeah, well, now you know, Dad.
Yeah, apparently Wisconsin is a haven for poison ivy.
But it's not. It was just like, the other thing is, okay, so exploring poison ivy, because I've been so like destroyed by it so many times. So apparently poison ivy is allergic to us by accident, right? Most animals aren't allergic to it. It spreads because literally deer love eating it. They'll eat it and then shit the seeds out everywhere, right? And that's how it got my dad's garden. I also found out that back in like feudal Japan or whatever, they had like gold statues or monuments or whatever. They had these things, and they would lacquer them with fucking poison ivy oil, and it would just stay on there for like ever because it's an oil, right? And so when people stole it, they knew like who. They'd be like, "Oh, you got
nice,
yeah, you got
early
fucked up
anti-theft device."
Yeah,
Nice.
and I was like, "That's pretty cool."
It kind of puts into perspective how like human-centered our naming conventions were, because like it's not poison to anybody else, but that shit's poison ivy, right? But
Oh,
it's
for
just a
sure.
plant.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and it's actually, and the other thing is like, I also was reading. We're really on this poison ivy thing, but I read a lot about it.
You are.
Yeah, well, that's I
Fine.
call
Keep
myself.
going.
The other
I
thing
already
is
know where we're going next.
to poison ivy, the superhero, supervillain.
No,
Um,
that's my quiet time.
so so there's poison ivy, there's poison sumac, and there's poison oak. Right, those are the big ones, and at least in
Uh-huh.
America, anyways. And apparently, like out in Cali and shit, where they have those wildfires all the time, right? Like it's like every couple of years it dries up and they have the fires, right? And it's a big deal for a lot of firefighters that are out there helping, like controlling it. Is the poison sumacs, I think it is, will burn and then it gets in the air and they inhale it and then they have the allergic reaction in their lungs and they get hospitalized and shit. I'm like, fuck that, dude. I can't handle this on my legs and these guys are getting in their lungs, dude.
Yeah.
Ugh. Hair horrible.
You know what I think of when I think of poison ivy? You know the song Poison Ivy?
Probably, but I can't think of it right now.
Mm, okay. Late at night when you're sleeping, poison ivy comes a creeping around.
Nope, don't know it.
That's an old one.
Don't know it. That sounded
It's
like
an
it was
old one.
50s.
It's like when you got poison ivy, Scotty should have been singing it to your ass. You know what I mean? Yeah, it is in the 50s.
I mean, yeah, my dad was definitely
But okay, so here's
up
where
to
I'm
the
going
hippies.
next. Okay. Swollen shit is funny. Okay? Swollen shit is funny.
Unless it's your
And
face.
yeah, unless it's your face, but still
Or you
to other
can't breathe,
people,
right?
it's like it's funny. Yeah, exactly, right.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
sometimes it's funny.
For
So I'm
sure.
gonna give an example, and this isn't gonna paint me in a good light, but
That's okay.
it's maybe me at my worst, but not really. I don't think so. Anyway, I at my old work, there was this woman, and her partner was going through kid cancer.
She did?
Yeah, her partner did, not her,
Oh, oh.
not my coworker. Her partner had cancer, and she would relay these stories about how they would go to the hospital and whatnot, and things like that, right? And she's telling me about like, oh, she has to wear a sleeve now, and it's like, I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah. So apparently, she's talking to me. She's like, apparently, because of the treatment or because they had to remove lymph nodes,
Oh no.
is that your arm can swell, but it will never go back down. It'll
What?
just stay that way for the rest
A
of your life.
permanent swell?
Yes. Okay. Now this part wasn't funny. Obviously, there's no humor in that because you don't want that, right?
Right.
Right. But then the coworker's relaying this story to me. Even to this day, I can't keep it in. And she's like, I'm like, wow, that's messed up. Like, no one would want that. So she had to wear this compression sleeve to prevent that from happening, or at least try to, because it doesn't always work.
Ugh.
Anyway, she's like, oh yeah, the doctor called it big arm.
What?
And I lost it. I'm like,
Wait.
that can't be the real name. And she's like, yeah, that's what they said the name was, big arm.
That's the fucking like medical term?
And it's not, but she believed it was, and I lost it. right at the lunch table, I could not stop. It was one of the worst fits of laughter I had ever had because it's just like, imagine a doctor, right? And they're steeped in Latin, and
Yeah.
it's like, this is the, and it's like, well,
Don't want her to get a big arm.
Yeah, I hate to tell you, but looks like you got big arm.
Wait,
like,
when you were laughing hysterically, what did this lady think? Was she like, you fucking asshole?
I was trying to be like, I was just laughing at big arm.
Yeah.
Right? Because obviously this woman was going through a lot, but it was like, I can't stop.
Was she laughing too, or was she like, you're an asshole?
I mean, it was funny, but I don't know. I mean, obviously,
Lymphedema.
She wasn't angry. She wasn't angry, but to the extent I was laughing, it was just big arm.
That's funny.
Right, lymphedema, right? Like because it was funny because I knew that couldn't have been the term. I knew there had to have been like a Latin term to describe what was happening, but she was convinced it was big arm.
No joke.
Right?
It sounds like a skit from like Family Guy. Like, oh, sorry, you got a case of big arm.
And apparently you can get big leg too.
Oh, I'm sure. I've
And I'm
had
like,
big head my whole life.
yeah. And I was relaying this story to my mom, and she's like, "Oh yeah, somebody we know has big leg." And I'm like, "Oh my
Shut
god."
up. She said that?
Yeah. Because someone she works with had to get several operations, right? And her legs swelled up, and it's just not going back. It's never going back down.
Do we have a happy ending for this lady?
No, unfortunately, she passed away.
Oh fuck, man.
Yeah, it's not. See, that's what I
That makes
mean.
it even
Not at
worse.
she didn't pass away at the time, though. She passed away a few years later. I wasn't even working there anymore, but
Oh, is that the one you
sh
told me about?
I don't know. No, that's not the one. That's a different person I worked with who no, I worked with somebody who now has cancer, but I don't know what her status is.
Oh,
It's
jeez.
fucked up. Okay, people getting sick is the worst.
It is sad. Dude,
Unfortunately, my the real sad part about it is that I worked in a Catholic school. The woman I worked with was a lesbian,
yeah,
right?
I
And the
picked up on
partner
that.
was a woman, right? But she was so scared of like being
Judged?
gay, yeah, like of possibly losing her job because they can get rid of you for any reason whatsoever, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And in the contract, if you work for a Catholic school, it's like has to adhere to Catholic values or whatever the fuck. Like
Yeah,
that's in the contract, right?
yeah.
And it's like, so I was think she was concerned about losing her job, right? So for the longest time I knew her, she was, that's my roommate. She always referred to her as her roommate.
Aw.
And it was real sad to me because it's like, why can't we just let this woman, like what are we doing here? Like everybody it was like an open secret though. Everybody kind of knew, but nobody said anything. That was the real sad part about it. But apparently they got married a few months before she passed, which I guess is
God, this whole story is heartbreaking,
yeah, it's
man.
depressing, right? That's why it makes me feel so bad about laughing so hard at Big Arm.
I mean, Big Arm, it's a funny story. This poor lady, I hope she's doing better.
Yeah. I I text her every year on her birthday
Is she
just to
was
say what's
she
up.
older or what?
She's like, I don't know, I wanna say 10, 15 years older than I am.
Okay, yeah.
She helped me out a lot. She was a real good about introducing me to
Real
everybody,
good
making
egg.
sure I was doing fine. Yeah, she was like my guide when I
Nice.
started there.
Was she in the library too?
No,
Oh,
but no, she didn't work in there, but she worked
oh.
around there,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
always saw her. Yep.
Yeah, dang.
Yeah, they really didn't end well.
It always
But yeah, Big Arm.
whenever dude, knock on wood. I it's always terrifying to think how easily something like really bad could happen to anyone like that. You know what I mean? Like anyone could pop up and get cancer.
Yeah.
And again, knock on wood, it hasn't really happened to anyone in my family, but it's like this looming, like, you know what I mean? If I think about it too much, I'm like, well, it's gonna fucking happen eventually. And like, who's it gonna happen to? Am I gonna lose my brother, my sister, my mom? Like, what's gonna happen here?
Yeah, it
We
just
ain't
seems
all
like
making
the
it to
odds
old
are
age.
somebody someone close to you's gonna get it.
Yeah, we ain't all gonna get to old age. I mean, even if it's not that, if
Well,
it's like a heart attack or
it's
something.
entirely possible that you can.
You think both my parents, all me and my siblings, you know, even if
I mean,
it's
you're
just
gonna die of something.
right. And the thing is, the next like there's too many people. Like maybe I lose my uncle and something. Well, I guess I technically did lose my aunt already, which I don't know. That didn't really affect me for some reason. I don't get it. I don't know.
Well, were you close with her?
I mean, there was more space near the end because my uncle was kind of weird and alcoholic, and they kind of like pulled away from the family a little bit the last like 5 years. He ended up dying like real tragically. Like, so she got like really bad dementia or something like that.
What, early onset?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
really
that's
bad.
scary.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, she also smoked like a chimney indoors and drank like a fish. So like those
Hard
obviously don't
living.
help.
That's a hard living woman.
Yeah. And the thing is she was a total sweetheart, right? Like she was always great to us. Um, lovely lady. She was never violent or yelling or angry, at least not towards us or whatever, right? But obviously they had marital issues. But anyways, so she ended up being like in dementia and going into like a hospice care or whatever that is, like a care home thing. And by the end of it, like she wasn't even able to like talk or walk or anything. She was just in a wheelchair, and she kind of grunt, and you kind of talk to her and she'd react, but it wasn't conversation.
Well, and I think in those instances, it's more like you've already
Made
they're already gone, you know what I
Yeah, you
mean?
made
You've
your
already
peace.
kind of dealt with it because they're not really there anymore,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
in a way.
yeah.
So it's like, well, I don't know. When it goes out slow like that and it's like,
Well, the thing is, and this kind of happened. This kind of is currently happening with my grandma. It happened with my sister's dog, right? Where like she was having seizures all the time, and it was like, "I love you, dog." Ruby was her name. But clearly this isn't a good life for you. And at some point, she just like we did as much medication as we could, and like it was like a year of just like not great, and just kind of slowly going downhill. And the medication was like awful. It was like after you gave her the medication, you had to wash your hands, and it's like holy shit, you're making her eat this. But it did seem to help for a while. But at a certain point, it was just like, dude, like you hate to even say it, but it's like you maybe it's just time because this isn't living anymore. Like you're just having 10 seizures a day, shit like that. But yeah. Oh, and so then my uncle ended up, so he was by himself, and he had COPD or something like that, and he was on an oxygen tank, and he was still drinking and wasn't supposed to be drinking. And then apparently something happened, and they don't know if it's an accident or if it's somehow on purpose, but basically the oxygen tank caught fire and blew up the house, and he was still like half alive crawling out the door when they found him. And
Jesus.
yeah, and he went to the hospital and ended up dying from the burns and shit. I was like, good lord,
Ugh.
dude. That is, if it was on purpose, man,
On purpose by him?
well, maybe, yeah. They think it's a possibility. He just cranked the fucking oxygen and let it go, and then lit a cigarette or
Oh,
whatever.
right. He thought it would he thought it would have ended differently than how it did.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think being burned alive is the way to go.
No.
Really, if you're
Well,
gonna
maybe.
go.
I mean, the thing is, he probably thought it would be explosion. He'd just be done, right?
I mean, just go to the medicine cabinet. You know what I mean? At that point,
Yeah.
I
But we don't
imagine if
condone
you're
that. We don't condone that
no, we
here.
don't. No, I'm not saying
But just
I'm
as
not
a
saying it.
yeah, just as a little toss prevention. But yeah, it's just sad. So I guess I mean that happened in the past I don't know 7 years. So I guess it has happened to me, but I always worry, especially
Alright,
now
you
with
know
my
what?
sister having kids.
I'm gonna I'm gonna hard left here
Yeah,
and
let's
get
go to
on a
something
lighter
a little
note.
more positive, a little lighter note.
So I'm gonna harken back to our cosplay discussion,
Okay,
and I'm gonna do a
cosplay.
Gaz's book recommendation, a little book recommendation segment. And um, I had said, right, like it would have been more interesting if Mystique had been like ugly in her base form, you know?
Yeah,
And then she's struggling with the idea of like pretending to be someone else or being who she is, you know?
sure. Yeah,
And this exact idea is wrestled with in a cute little YA series called The Hunchback Assignments.
the Hunchback
And
assignments.
yes, Hunchback Assignments, and it's this it's probably like I would say middle grades, maybe 6th to ninth grade, you know, for all the viewers out there who have children in this age range.
Or like you're just interested in something that's
Or you
young
just like
adult.
fun little YA novels. They're
Green Rise,
they're
I'm
good.
looking at you.
Anyway, this didn't get a wide release because the author, whose name is Arthur Slade,
Okay,
that's Canadian, so it didn't really receive like a huge American release, I don't think. Anyway, the story is it's set in like a steampunk Victorian era,
hmm
okay? And this boy is deformed. He's sold to a circus by his parents and he's eventually picked up by a spy agency for like a British spy agency, right?
the
And
Hunchback boy is.
yes, Hunchback Boy. And his name's Modo, right? Like a little on the nose, you know?
Wait,
But,
why is that on the nose?
Quasimodo,
Oh yeah, okay. I was gonna say it sounded familiar, but I couldn't figure. Okay, yeah,
anyway, he's deformed, he has a hunchback, but he has a special ability to shapeshift, right? He can, like, um turn his body and face into something else, into whatever he needs it to be, right?
As a
But
hunchback?
yeah, and he's a hunchback.
Okay.
Okay. But anyway, so as a little boy, he's like sequestered, and he's trained by his nanny and his quote unquote father, the guy who adopts him,
Okay.
right, to be a super spy, right, because he can be whoever he needs to be, right.
I kind of get it, but it's also sounds absurd.
Oh my god! Oh my
It's a
god!
YA
Get
book,
your
bro.
passenger!
Get your passenger.
Anyway,
Thank you,
um,
Moonrise.
what was I saying? Okay. Anyway, so as he gets older, he starts to get out and go on assignments, right? Hunchback assignments. He has these little missions that he goes out and he does, and he meets this girl, and it's like he's got a huge crush on her, but
Oh,
you know, he only meets her in his like certain face. You know what
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So she thinks that that's his real face, but it's not, and he's like wrestling with this. It's like, well,
Do I
I definitely
reveal?
can't show her what my real face is because it's hideous, right? And
Yeah, but he's
like it's known to be hideous.
he's morally
And
obligated to.
well, no, not really.
You don't think
And
so?
then well, they're not together.
Oh,
He just has a crush on her,
oh, okay, okay, okay.
right? And I mean, I think it's like she kind of likes him, and she's like, well, you know, obviously he wants to show her at some point what he looks like, but he's scared,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
because it's you know,
He
it's
knows
whatever.
he's an uggo.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what he's wrestling with as they're going through these like fun steampunky adventures. A series of
Um,
about 4 books.
I'm gonna tell you the ending. You ready?
Yeah.
This is the ending. She too is a shapeshifter, and she
No.
too is a hunchback. It's just fucking Shrek.
False.
It's
That's
Shrek.
not how
Everyone, you don't need to buy it. I just gave it to you.
not how it ends.
False. That's funny. You think? Yeah, you probably. I mean, if they got dating, then he'd have to tell her.
Well, yeah, well, I'm not going to give away what happens in the book.
I know, but
Books.
Well, I'm talking hypothetical, like morals here.
Well, yeah, at some point, but it's also like
I mean, maybe, but
there's also an aspect of like, well, what's it matter? I can look like this for you, you know?
well, yeah, but she has to choose that.
I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's like a woman not wanting to take her makeup off in front of her partner, right? Does that happen?
Her
Makeup off.
makeup off, yeah.
Moon, I swear to Christ.
Um,
Oh my
well,
god!
the thing is, as long as
Get your passenger!
Jim, thank you for the gifted. Hype train is close. This is really turning into a whole thing. Do you you the thing is, if they know that she has makeup on, that's different, right?
Yeah. Well, no, she knows not his real
Oh my
face.
god!
Okay, what
Oh
is
my
going on
God.
here? An anonymous
Get your
gifter to Stas.
passenger.
Oh, Stas, hey. Welcome to the
Yeah. That's the only way I ever sub to this man's channel is if somebody gives me a sub. Thank you very much.
I got you, says. Yeah, you taking credit for that one, Soul? I didn't mean to press anonymous. Thanks, buddy. What was I saying?
Yeah, you were.
Oh, the makeup thing. Yeah, yeah. But the thing
Yeah.
is, if they know that they have a mask on, right, or the makeup, or
Well,
they
at some
shapeshifted.
point, she finds out that that's not his real face, but she's never seen it because
Right,
he
right.
doesn't want her to see it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's like, if as long as you let them know that that ain't the real thing, or if you're not trying to say, like, if you're not trying to be deceitful about it, right? Like, hey, I have makeup on, and you're never gonna see me without it, and they're like, okay, that's okay, or no, that's not okay, right?
Get your passenger!
Oh
Right, it
my god,
reminds me of that
another one? What's going
story
on here?
About it
Thank
like
you,
came
guys.
out of Asia of the guy who like
Oh
sued
yeah,
his wife
yeah.
because she got plastic surgery to look the way she does,
And then they had
and
ugly kids.
yeah, and they had quote unquote ugly children. Which okay, we're gonna tangent here, okay?
Too scam
And
train.
this is gonna be worse than Big Arm, okay?
Is this you?
From me,
We're
yeah.
gonna judge
Have
you.
you ever seen an ugly baby?
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, okay, let me recount for you the ugliest baby I've ever seen in my life.
Let me
Okay?
preface it with this, okay? Let me just say, what is happening right now? Thank you for the gifted sub to
Mr.
Wolfie.
Passenger!
We just gotta pause for this because there's a
Jim,
get your passenger.
wow, Jim. Thank you. I don't know why am I thanking you? It's not me. It's not my money. It's yours. But
Thanks. I got
so
my food
anyway,
stas.
what was I? Where was I at? Oh yeah, the ugliest baby. I was at my cousin's baby shower, I believe. I think it was a baby shower. This is probably 20 years ago.
Is that your
Yeah, around
cousin's baby
2022.
shower?
Yeah, one of my cousins' baby
Is your
showers,
cousin
right?
in chat right now?
No, not to my knowledge. Anyway, not the one I'm talking about. Anyway, his wife, she's got her friends or whatever, and they're coming, they come for the baby shower.
Yeah.
And one of her friends just recently had a baby. Okay.
Right.
And she brought her. And yeah, well, the third one is the one I'm talking about. Anyway, um, she brought her baby, and immediately and her husband was there as well. The baby's father was there as well. And you can immediately tell just from looking at the father, right? That like, okay, this is where the baby gets the looks from.
Okay.
But this baby, okay. And what I want you to do is imagine a troll doll.
Yeah.
Okay. But imagine that face of a troll doll being like asymmetrical. Okay. Imagine it's like
Like
there's some
super noticeably asymmetrical?
Yeah, imagine that along with like I don't know how to describe it, man, but this baby was just like this poor baby, you know? This is basically a Seinfeld episode. There was a Seinfeld episode about an ugly baby,
Was there?
yeah.
I need to watch that
But yeah,
show.
in real life, this happened. It was like, oh my gosh, this poor kid.
Well, I mean, the thing is, how young was this? Because a lot of times, as soon as you come out of the womb, your face is all distorted and shit because you just went through like
No,
a
I don't know
8-inch
how old they were. A few months.
hole. I mean, that's still pretty young. It really things
I
really
mean,
kind of.
you could say but there's cute babies right out the gate.
I'm gonna let you know right now. My sister's babies were adorable out the gate.
Yeah, so don't worry about that. But anyway, that was the ugliest baby I've ever seen.
But I will say this, okay? And I say that to say this. I think that generally speaking, like your family babies or like your babies are it's kind of like the sunset vibe, right? Where you see a sunset and you're like, this is gorgeous, and you take a picture and show your friends, and they're like, yeah, whatever, right? It's like it's not as special to them, like if it's not your experience or your child.
Yes, I understand that, but you see babies.
Oh, you're talking
out
about like
in the wild.
objectively ugly babies.
Yes, there were babies. I used to see babies out in the wild, and they're like, oh, and you think, I was gonna bite their little legs off. You know what I mean?
Oh, so you're saying you see cute babies?
Okay, so I don't
Thank
know
you,
if
Miss
you were a
Merck.
part of this, right?
Miss Merck is here, dude.
Yeah, Miss Merck is here. How is the spa?
How was the spa?
Ducking? Were you ducking us? Okay, wait, never mind. Back in the day, right? I would describe a baby to you and the crew that we hung out with. You could have been on the show, Miss Merck. You could have told somebody.
Yeah, what the heck, Miss Merck?
But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, and I said like, oh, the baby was so cute, you just want to eat him up, right?
Yeah.
And I took heat from everybody in the channel. Like, what are you talking about? Why would you want to eat a baby?
What in event?
Yeah,
Was I there?
the crew. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure if you.
The thing is,
were there or not.
the thing is, I could have been there because my view might have changed. Like maybe when I was younger, I was like, eat a baby, what the fuck? But like, yeah, that's just like commonplace. That's just
You just
normal
want 'em-
shit.
You just want to bite their little super
Yeah, the
big
little
thighs.
yeah, the little drumsticks, man. So
Anyway,
you love babies, huh? Cute
babies
ones,
are
cute
cute.
ones, anyways. You love cute
Yeah.
ones.
Babies are cute.
It'd be interesting to see you as a dad. I'd like to venture down that road one day.
Yeah, I'll send you. We'll record a montage of me interacting with babies.
Should we just adopt a kid together?
No,
Come on, dude.
I'm not going to become hetero life partners with you. Not to that extreme, anyway.
I'd give it 20 years.
I'm okay with babies
Um,
in general.
I'd never really held a newborn until my sister had her kids, and her first one was like 3 years ago or whatever now. They definitely scared me. Like, I was afraid to hold, like, the first time I held my niece, I was terrified because I'm like, this is so small, I'm gonna break it. Did you have that or no?
No, I've held babies before. I held my sister when I was 7 when she was born, so I mean, in very controlled
I
environments.
mean, I was like
I
6
did
or 7
hold her.
when Knox was born. I'm sure I held him, but like, I don't.
Well, apparently you don't remember it.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's
Yes,
different
I've
from when
held
you're older
babies
and you
before.
like, when you're 7, you have no fucking concept of death. You're like, well, yeah, I'll hold the baby. Then when I'm like, 33, and they're like, hey, hold this thing that's just got, off of mom's food supply. Like, well, if I do anything wrong, if I move too fast, it might just shatter.
Yeah.
Did you ever babysit?
Well, yeah. No. Well, yeah, I had to babysit my little sister all the time.
Oh, I meant for like other people.
No, hell. Oh, yeah. Actually, yes, I have.
Oh, hell no. Oh, wait, yes, I have.
Yeah, for various people. Not too often though. Not for babies.
When I was like, I don't know, early teens, like it's like my mom's friend. They adopted a Korean girl, and then they broke up, but they moved close to us, and so the mom, like, quote unquote, hired me to babysit this girl, but like we were pretty close in age, like maybe a 3-year gap or like 2-year gap or something like that. It wasn't big. So literally I'd go over there and we'd hang out and play. Yeah, we just play games. That was like when 64 was booming. We'd play like Mario Party and like Pokemon minigame shit, whatever that was. We just play games. Super Smash Brothers and shit like that.
Nice. Well, she probably just didn't want them home alone.
Yeah, that's exactly
Really
what it was.
was.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the extent of my babysitting. I just hung out with, and then half the time, like, my siblings would come up with us, and we just have like a party bowl, a quote unquote party, play games and eat whatever the fuck we want.
Sure.
But yeah.
Okay, what do you got?
What for conversations? Let me look at my list here. Love isn't always on time. I don't remember why I wrote that.
Love isn't always on time.
Oh, that is why. That is why it was the song. Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know why. Maybe it just made me think of you.
Toe the line. It is a song I sing sometimes. Yes.
No, I think I saw it on a show or something. I was like, yeah, this is good. This just reminds me of Stas. Don't give up, buddy.
What are you saying? That I'll meet somebody at what, 55 years old or something?
You never know, dude. My dad got married at 67.
But he already had a wife.
But it was the wrong one.
Well, it was the right one at that time.
It was the right one for me. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, it was the right one for you and all your siblings.
Is Miss Merck here?
What else you got?
Should we squeeze Miss? I mean, we're only an hour and a half
She has
in.
to be willing, bro.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Miss Merck, do you wanna hop in? We can chit chat. I do wanna pick her brain a little, Start getting some community involvement. I think my soul might go crushed in a horrific steamroller accident.
Whatever we want to say.
I'm awkward. That's fine.
Yeah, you're not leading the discussion. We are.
And also, I mean, it's not like this is like it's not like 1,000 people watching us. You're all right.
You let us know.
It'll be good, Miss Mark. Listen. Here's the other thing. I was very awkward, very shy, very unconfident, like, all my life, and I think in the past, like, probably 5 to 10 years, I just stopped giving a shit. I hate my voice. Well, you don't have to listen to yourself.
Yeah, Miss Merck, you hear my voice, okay?
And
How
mine.
much worse could it be? If at all, it can't be.
Yeah,
People have to listen to this all the time.
Honestly, Stas's voice doesn't bother me, but My voice bothers me. I don't think there's anything wrong with your
I know
voice.
other people might be turned off by it, but it's fine by me.
Yeah, why does it bother me at all? But like mine, I've all grown up. I always thought like I had a very feminine voice, and I didn't like it. I always talked very high pitch and stuff like that. I remember
I have gotten sensitive about it in the past.
you have. Oh, I was
Yeah.
definitely way more sensitive. I remember there was this
Right.
one time in high school where,
What can you do?
well, yeah, at some point you just have to accept who you are, right? Or I mean, the thing is, there is like vocal training. And,
Yeah, you can
and
just drop an octave and
drop an
decide to
octave,
talk like something else.
and we're on an NPR stream suddenly.
Hello. Yeah.
But I was in high school, and I remember I called one of my buddies. It was like a friend of a friend. It was my first time kind of calling him or whatever, and I called him. I started talking to him. I'm like, I don't remember. I was like, hey, what time is the party this weekend or whatever? And the guy's like, and this is like, you know, back before cell phones had like call ID and shit like that, and or like smartphones and shit. And he's like, who is this? I'm like, it's Jake. What do you mean? And he's like, oh, dude, I thought you were a girl. You sound just like a girl. And I, I think that like probably hit me really hard at the time. And I'm like, oh my God, I have a girl voice, dude. Like people are going to
Well,
think.
the funny part is that well, for me, that reminds me is that people used to also mistake me for a girl. But the thing is that my older sister has a very deep voice for a woman.
You guys got
Right?
swap, dude.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, it's like how do you confuse me? How would you confuse me for her, right?
When she's
Because we
clearly,
don't sound alike, right? I don't know.
because, yeah. I don't know. I don't think of you as having a feminine voice.
Well, I was that as a child, not
Oh.
now.
Oh.
Miss Merck, it's fine. We're at someday we're gonna get you on this show.
Yeah.
That's a promise.
That's a promise. You can take that to the bank.
Yeah, take it to the bank and get diddly, but
Well, what'd you say?
diddly. As in
Oh,
diddly
I
squat.
thought you said take that to the bank and get diddled. I'm like, okay, what kind of bank is this, bro?
No, not that kind of bank.
Hey, if he's cute enough, she might be down.
Well, yeah, but
Or she. I'm not assuming.
listen, Miss Merck can do better than a teller. All right.
Yeah. Well, what's wrong with
Not
a
that there's
teller?
anything wrong. Nothing's
Yeah,
wrong
hold
with
on
a teller,
now.
but you know what? After a certain age, you want a little stability in your life, and teller salary ain't cutting it.
Well, maybe his dad owns the bank.
One can hope. Then marry the dad.
That's your advice? I would love if we had a segment where people would like quote unquote call in for relationship advice. I think
Yeah, I'll give it.
I think that would be so
Crazy?
good.
Give it.
That'd be so, wait, was that Mel? That's a Mel voice.
I mean, it's Mel, but also from City of Heroes. Do you remember City of Heroes?
I didn't play that with you guys. I don't know if that was before me or what.
Okay, well, I played it before we even were in a clan, right? I played it with my previous group of friends.
Yeah.
And well, anyway.
Wait, who the fuck's your
basically-
previous group of friends?
Well, I was in. I told you we talked about it last week. Kohan, Aramon's gift. That I had.
You had a whole group of
clan.
friends?
Well, they were my clan mates or whatever. Anyway, the best.
where are they
friend
now,
I had in
Stas?
that clan. I don't know where they are. Best friend I had in that clan. His name
On
was
the
Orional.
podcast.
Okay, like Orion, but with an AL at the end.
Orion? Like Reginald
Yeah.
Orion?
And he was a cop. He was a cop in upstate New York.
Wow.
And anyway,
You've changed.
we decided to play City of Heroes, and it's basically a superhero MMO, right? It was
I
one
can't
of the
believe it's
first
that old.
big MMOs. It is very old.
That's crazy.
And anyway, as you're running through the city, there's like
Random
crimes
crime.
you can help set. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not like quests, but you can just do it to gain a little bonus or whatever the hell, right? And you would go by these muggings where a guy is trying to take a purse from a woman, right? And in there's little dialogue bubble, it would say, "You crazy? Give it." That was it. Give it. And that became a thing.
That's hilarious. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's that story over. Where are we going?
I have this. Okay, I got one.
Okay.
So I was thinking about I mean, I kind of talked to you about this before. When do we decide that someone can't make choices for themselves? So let me,
Okay.
for example, when people are groomed, right? And people will step in and say like, "Hey, you groomed this person, and that's not okay. So you guys can't be together, and you did something very wrong." Like, how do we know if it's that versus the person genuinely likes this person, like it's a genuine relationship and it's a healthy relationship?
That's
Like,
why we have legal boundaries.
I know, but that still happens within legal boundaries, and people talk like say it's still immoral. There's still immorality happening, like an ethics question.
When there's a large, I think it usually it's when there's a large enough differential, right?
What do you mean?
Between, like, say, okay, well, if there's a large enough differential in age, then it becomes an issue, right?
Well, okay,
If
but
there's a large enough differential in power, then it becomes an issue, right? If there's a large enough differential in, say, cognitive ability, then it becomes an issue,
hmm.
right? Because let's say, right? I mean, you can imagine a sort of,
Oh, we talked about the R. Kelly P.
well, we talked about R. Kelly peeing on someone, but I had misunderstood the entire setup.
I know, but I'm saying yes, but I'm saying okay. So say R. Kelly got with say it was the scenario you thought, and not a child, right, or not a kid. Let's say it was
Okay.
like someone close to his
R.
age.
Kelly grooming a child, yes.
No. Let's say it was R. Kelly when he was, I don't even know how old he was. Let's say he was 30 and he had a fan that was like 28 and they hooked up and he peed on her. Like,
Okay.
is the power differential where we're like, hey, R. Kelly, you did something wrong? Or is it like, okay, the fan is allowed to participate in this, and like when do we step in and say she's a like
Well, why
this
would
person's
we step in on a 28-year-old woman?
well, I don't know. You said when there's a power differential, right? Or
Yeah,
something
but there
like that.
isn't. That's not. Yeah, but he's not her boss. Is he her boss?
No.
Okay, well, they're just making choices. Yeah, I
Well,
mean, his
but
celebrity has a certain allure,
right, but there's
right?
definitely certain like people, or there's for sure there's a group of people
Is
who
she
think
cognitively impaired?
no, but there is definitely some people who think like it's bad for celebrities to kind of pick from their fans for sexual
Who
interactions.
says that?
I've seen it all the time. I've seen people
That's every male celebrity in existence.
right.
That's
Well,
every male famous
wasn't
singer.
didn't that just happen with Adam Levine where he was like DMing a fan talking
Yeah,
about how
but he was married. That was the ish.
oh, that's why they were upset? I guess.
Yeah,
But I feel like
being shady with the wife.
people would still probably be like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?"
In the words of Steve Perry, love with a music man ain't often what it's supposed to be.
Who's Steve Perry? I know you hate me right now, but I do need an answer.
Journey?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know these names. I know Journey. Why would I know the fucking lead man's name?
I don't know, man. He's just, I don't know. He reached that threshold of famous enough that you should know Steve Perry.
What's the threshold?
I don't know what it is, but you know it when you see it.
How about that? What Soul said. I like that. Right?
Oh.
Leonardo getting flack for always dating 25-year-olds and then dropping them or whatever. Like, is there something wrong there?
See, that's different than, I think the feeling on that is different than, say, it's not that he's grooming them.
No,
It's just
yeah.
that
People think it's skeezy or whatever.
yeah, right. It's like he's going, so it's like young every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the same
not
age
that
group.
like, hey, these women are being conned or something.
Right, but
like,
if they say yes
they're
and he
old enough
says
to
yes,
make their choices.
why is there judgment for it?
Judgment on him?
Yeah, why? If
Because
it's
he's
two
like 50
adults that
years
are
old, bro.
yeah, but if she's 23 and she's like, yeah, that's what I want too, then
I mean, even I would be. It would be weird for me to date a 23-year-old, and I'm 39.
yes, it would be odd for sure. But people are making him out to be like a, I don't know.
Yes, well, it's because there's a pattern there. That's why the Leo thing was it got play because he had a pattern of always dumping women at 25 years old, like right at a like it was like a cutoff, you know?
I wonder why. Like the thing is, like, why would that be a factor for someone? Or, you know, what I mean, it's just a number in that, like, a 24-year-old could look like they're 30, or they could look like they're 19. You know what I mean? So why that hard number?
I
It's so
get it.
weird.
And yes, Miss Merck, there is a double standard there, but I feel like it's getting less and less as we get as cougars and whatnot
I feel like
are
there's definitely less
becoming
and
more
less
and
of
more
that.
accepted. But I agree that at a certain point, it doesn't matter anymore. Like, I feel like if a woman, like, or a man, if someone hits 30, you know what? If you want to be with a 70-year-old, you know what? I think it's a little, it would be
Oh,
gross
it's
because I've
weird.
seen 70-year-old bodies, you know? But hey, if that's what you want to do, that's you, right? You're old enough to make those decisions. So
I
I don't
don't. The
know.
thing is,
For
I'm
me,
not even.
it's not that it's illegal or it feels weird, but for me, a woman would have to be at least out of college for me, because
Sure,
then it'd be like, okay,
that's
they've
a
at
little bit
least
more
lived long
reasonable.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, like do a little living so that we could, one, have something to talk about, and two, you know, I don't know. It just would give me peace of mind, I guess.
But the okay, so back to what Miss Merck said. I'm not sure that there's a full on like how deep is that double standard? Because people do think it's weird for guys to do it too,
I don't know. I guess it depends, maybe. You
right?
know.
It's definitely weird both
Depends on the
ways.
region, maybe how conservative or liberal the area is.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
you think that age gap is more prevalent in liberal or conservative areas, or more acceptable?
I think the double stand. My initial reaction, my knee jerk reaction would be that the double standard is more at play in conservative regions, right? Like because in
Sure,
a conservative region, an older man and a younger girl, that's kind of not accepted as it's quote unquote accepted, right? And then
sure.
to reverse that, it's like what's happening here?
Yeah. Yeah,
But I don't
it's the thing is it's always a red flag to see like a lot, right? It's a red flag. It doesn't mean anything actually bad or malicious is happening.
It's a potential cause of concern, I guess.
Right.
It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be at all, right? If you wanna go young, in with
Did I ever tell you about my
legally.
teacher, my English teacher?
No.
So she was always kind of. It was always joked about that she was very flirty with the certain guys in class, right? And
Mhm.
it ended up being that like it was a guy in my sister's grade. After he graduated, they ended up like full on dating and getting married. And I think before that she was married and she like adopted a kid, and the kid is older than the guy she's with now. It is just very bizarre stuff. Like I played
Her
soccer with this
her
kid,
she's dating someone who's younger than her
adopted daughter.
son.
Yeah. Well, I think it's adopted daughter. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, see, this is the weird part, and it's fucked up, okay? Because I also have a story, but it's not a female teacher, it was a male teacher,
Oh,
and a couple grades lower, maybe a year younger than me, 2 years younger than me, and this happened literally a year after I graduated. The my one of my gym teachers, he was caught having relations with one of the students. And it wasn't technically illegal because I
she was
think she
18.
was set well, it's 17 in New York. So she was at the age of consent, but
But
he
isn't
was married, right? And
oh
it's an incredible ethical violation. So he was immediately dismissed.
yeah, isn't there also
Um,
like isn't it
and he
regardless
lost
of
his
age?
teaching
Usually
license.
teachers can't fraternize with the
Yeah, he lost his teaching license.
yeah.
But they ended up getting married,
Oh, good for them. You know.
and I
The thing is,
ran
when you
into
see
them.
that, do you think like
Yeah.
okay, so that is like it seems like a healthy, genuine relationship
I don't
that's with
know
love.
if we could call it healthy. Just because you get married, don't mean it
I mean
healthy.
that's true, but at least it's
If
like
you're
standing
an
the test of
over
time.
30-year-old man and you get with and eventually marry a 17-year-old girl, okay, I'm saying there's something wrong there. But anyway, I saw her years later because I was student teaching, and I got to student teaching late because I spent so many dumb years in college,
Yeah.
and she was already a teacher despite being younger than me.
Oh wow.
I didn't talk to her about it or anything. I just knew who she was.
Oh, you didn't want to ask her about her
It would have been
about
the
your
dick-
guys' teacher that she's banging?
as pretentious or as dickish as I may come off to people, I'm not actually a dick, so I didn't say anything about it. Like, hey,
Well-
like, hey, how's
Well, you're just not confrontational about it.
how's Mr. So and so doing?
Yeah, I mean that's a lot different than like talking to a friend about something.
Yeah, and another teacher at my building was also let go for fraternizing with a younger student.
Well, let me ask you this.
Time. It's a sad and strange phenomenon.
I think it's probably because you form relationships with the people that you spend the most time with, and if for somehow you don't see that age gap, like that's just who you're around all the time, right? I don't know. It's odd for sure, but it's like that seems not that. Like
Are you trying to say it's not that big of a deal?
No. I'm not saying it's not a big deal. I'm saying it makes sense, sort of. Like it's people you're surrounding yourself on a regular basis. Like weird relationships are going to form.
I think it's more like I don't know how to set healthy boundaries, and if you can't, like, at a very basic level, it's like you have to. Some people just don't have the wherewithal. They have zero self-reflection to be like, hey,
I shouldn't be diddling.
I don't want to lose my career. So I don't know who could possibly be worth losing my career over, but it's none of these teenage idiots. Because it's like I've worked.
Well, maybe he didn't give a shit about his career.
You have to dude, the amount of hoops you have to jump through to become a certified teacher, especially in New York, is so ludicrous, right? And once you get tenure, it's like, no, babe, you don't give that up.
Well,
Don't
would
just
you
throw that away?
Would you give up your teaching license for a lover?
A child? No.
I didn't say an age. I just said, would you give up your teaching license for a lover?
That implies that I would have to give it up with.
No, I'm not implying. I'm not implying that. I'm saying like, completely hypothetical situation. Would you cut up your, teaching license to find love right now?
Yes, but joke's on you. It's already expired.
Well, it's not jokes on me. It's jokes on that poor girl.
I don't know. You'd have to concoct some real
cockamamie.
Yeah, some real weird storyline in which I have to stop being a teacher to be with somebody.
The storyline,
yeah, fine. I don't care.
The storyline could happen. I can get my friend Stas
but I'm not
to write
even
it.
a teacher anymore, so it doesn't matter.
You ever think you're gonna go back to it?
No, I can't really. At least in this state, I would have to do so much work to get the certification back.
Oh
it's just not
what
worth
a bunch of bullshit, dude.
Yes, teacher. I mean, this could be a topic of the podcast, but it's going to bore you and our audience to death because it's really niche.
I don't know that I get bored of anything.
Process is it's bullshit. It's not trying to find good teachers. It's basically a cover your ass mechanic.
Bogged down in bureaucracy.
Yeah, it's so nonsense. It's not filtering quality people through. It's just.
Is that what it's intended for, you think? Intended to do?
Well, they say that it's intended to make sure, like, if it's that we have quality teachers. But really, it's just making sure that we have people who are, willing to jump through whatever hoop we tell the state tells them to maintain their certification.
Well, isn't that kind of how we do a lot of things where we're just like...
Yeah,
it's a weird weeding out... Like the whole college thing, right? Like people want someone with a degree, not because of necessarily the degree, but just to be like, oh, okay, so you made it through college, good job. So you're like reliable and you can show up and complete shit.
Yeah, and meanwhile, the amount of effort you have to put in to graduate is so low for a lot of different degrees. You don't have to do anything, and it's like I don't know what this is really showcasing, but not effort.
Yeah, I don't know.
So a lot of certifications are basically gatekeepers to weed out people of, say, a lesser socioeconomic status. That's also one of the reasons certifications exist.
Well, but the thing is, don't you like if you're running a business and you were going to hire someone, and you had on paper it looked like two of the exact same people, but one went to college, would you be like, well, I'm gonna pick this one then?
If everything was equal, then
Everything
yeah,
seemed about
probably.
equal, and then
Yes, probably.
So there is some sort of value to you as
There is some
a
sort of
potential
value to it, but we've overvalued it to the point where it doesn't even. It kind of you're
supersedes
disqualified
everything.
for not having it, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, let's face it. I think it's 3/4 of businesses. You have to your resume has to make it through an algorithm before they're looking at your info.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like
Everything's done by the AI now, dude.
yes, everything is done by AI, and before those resumes even hit a human being's eyes, it has to pass through whatever filters you set up through the AI or
Yeah.
whatever service you're using or whatnot. So it's like, well, if everyone expects a college degree, then I guess I'm going to have to either make one up or go to college.
Is it illegal to lie on your resume?
I'm assuming. Well, I don't know about illegal,
Could you
but
go to jail for it?
maybe in some circumstances. I don't. Even if it was technically illegal, it's like not something anyone's going to waste their time on.
Yeah.
Unless you're putting people's lives at risk. I mean, it's illegal if you were pretending to be, say, an airline pilot. Like,
yeah.
you can.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, oh, you want to be a software engineer? Yeah, I went to school for 2 years here, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
I mean, I don't know if it would be anything other than cause for dismissal,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's not illegal for me to lie to you right now.
Right, but I was wondering maybe if it'd be like fraud or something like that.
Who knows?
Who knows? We'll get the legal expert on next week.
I mean, if like if people are going to jail for fluffing their resume, a lot of people are going to. We don't have space for that. We already have enough people in jail. What are we doing?
Have you ever fluffed your resume?
No, I don't. I never cared that much about it. I hate the entire process.
Of what, interviewing? And
I might have like oversold some things that I did, but I
Yeah.
never put anything on there that I didn't actually do.
I led a
or-
team to a state championship in Dota.
I actually have led a Counter-Strike team on my resume in the early days.
Did you?
Yeah, because
Well, the thing
Yeah,
is,
I
I
got
don't
good
think there's
feedback
not. I don't think it's
about
not
it.
valid. Like it's like
yeah, I mean,
organizing
it's work
people
organized, yeah,
is a
it is.
skill.
Shot calling.
Yeah, leading a team is a skill. For sure.
Yeah.
It definitely translates, I think.
Resumes. I can't even. The idea of updating my resume, I shudder. I can't even think about it. It's so
Yeah.
gross to me.
So you're
The whole
never
idea
gonna
of looking for a
you're never
job.
gonna leave your job.
No. I
No,
mean, it's
you
a
aren't?
contradiction to me, but I'm not one of those people that's like I can't lose this job. You know what I mean?
Well, right. You're not gonna do anything for it, but
Yeah.
you're not
But
you're not
generally,
looking for something else anytime soon.
yes, I'd prefer to keep it,
I mean, it is.
especially
It
since
is
I work from home.
right.
Come on,
That's pretty gravy. Like anything.
just got a bonus today.
Did you? Nice. Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks.
That's sick.
Doing great work.
Nice, dude.
I'm not, but it's okay.
Now you can
They
make
can
that
keep
trip
it-
to Japan.
I told them, don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. And they told me my boss told me you got to take some vacation. You got to take some vacation.
Oh, they told you that?
Yeah, she did.
She did.
She's like, because I have a bunch built up because why
Do you-
take, I don't know.
Does it
why
roll
bother?
over?
To a certain extent. I can get a certain number of hours. And it's a very high number,
Wait,
but I
what the
already
fuck
have
does that
200.
mean?
So every pay I get almost 8 hours of time as vacation time, right? So it's
What do you mean every
every
pay?
it's every 2 weeks they grant me a day's worth of vacation.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so that's 8 hours, but they don't do it in days; they do it in hours. So if you
Yeah.
take half a day or whatever,
Yeah.
right? So it builds up, but there is a maximum it can build up to at my particular
Oh, so you
job.
can't have like 1,000 days built up and just
No, you
get
can't
paid for
have.
a couple years.
I don't know what the max is, but apparently I'm getting a little close because I have over 200 something hours available.
Wow, you've really been stashing them, huh?
Well, the thing is, when you work from home, right?
Every day's a vacation.
No, yeah, kind of. But it's either like, well, because you're thinking to yourself, well, I am anyway. Well, it's not that big of a deal just to get up and log on, right?
Right.
Or you're thinking like, well, if I take these couple of days off, that's just gonna pile up more work for me because I know that nobody's gonna do it while I'm
Yeah, that's
gone.
a big deterrent.
So it's like either I do a little bit of work every day and just stay and just keep going, or I have a bunch of work waiting for me when I get back. What kind of vacation is that?
Yeah.
But I will go. I want to go places. I got to get my passport renewed so I can go to Japan.
Oh, you actually
Uh,
want to like do some travel?
yeah, I want to go to Japan. Although I don't. I want a better. I want a plan of what I'm doing over there.
You don't want to just show up in Tokyo.
Well, I kind of do. That's the weird part.
It
Because
would
the
be
thing is,
bad.
I wanna see I wanna see these kinds of places. I wanna go to, like, Sydney. I wanna go to Japan. I wanna go to,
Those
Seoul,
flights would suck.
right? I know they would suck, but it's fine. I wanna go there, but I don't wanna go there for a week. You know what I mean? Like, a week, to me, is so garbage for a vacation because you don't really get to experience the
Oh, you want
place.
longer?
Yeah, I'd like longer, and I'd
Oh,
like
wow, yeah.
to and the longer you go, the more expensive it gets, and I'd like to not bother with any of the tourist garbage, you know what I mean? Like, if I go to Japan, yeah, I'm gonna go to a temple, but I'm not going to 40 temples,
Right.
okay? And I'm not going to the dumb tourist nonsense. I'd like to find just somewhere, you know?
Well, the thing is,
It's like a
you have to ride a balance between like having a plan of the things you want to see, but not over plan, so you can actually just kind of explore and
yeah.
experience, right?
And I'm a little intimidated about going, to a country like Japan or, like, where I don't even speak the language,
Yeah, for sure.
and it's like, "Well, how are they even gonna react to me?" Where, like, in Seoul, at least, like, I think a fair number of Koreans would be able to understand English,
I
that
think
it
it's
wouldn't
like
be
that in
that bad.
Japan too, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's that to that extent.
No. Um,
But I
for
don't know. So but even Seoul gives me a little like, "Well, I'm not even gonna be able to read signs. What am I doing here?"
yeah, they're friendly. They'll help you out.
So it would be better if I, say had a partner to go with because then it would be like, hey, because then when we get lost, it's like we're lost. And then
Do you
instead
want
of
to
I'm lost,
do you
you
want to
know?
do that before or after we adopt a kid?
Before, what are you crazy?
You want to bring the kid in?
With a child on that flight?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, if you're going on a fucking day long flight or whatever, however long it is, yeah, a week isn't enough. I ain't spending a day traveling in there and a day traveling back. It sounds miserable.
But yeah, I also wanted to go to Vancouver. I've
Vancouver.
never
Why'd you say it
been up
like that?
because it's funny.
Vancouver.
I was looking into going to Vancouver, but the prices were I don't know. It was like,
Canada or
why
America?
what?
Isn't it in both?
I'm Canada.
I think it's in both, right? And just like or something weird like that. Like the city's split amongst across both country, whatever.
I don't know. Anyway,
Well, now I'm kind
I
of
wanted
curious.
to go to Vancouver. I looked up prices and it was like
Vancouver.
it ended up being several $1,000s and um I don't know. It's just like, hey, it was supposed to be like a whim, like a spur of the moment type thing.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to pay several $1,000s for just to go see a random city.
Vancouver. I heard Vancouver is gorgeous.
Yeah, I heard good things about it too, but it's like I don't know if it's $2,000 good.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't know. I also heard Montreal is like really amazing too.
I mean, I could go to a bunch of cities in Canada if I want. I mean, I don't even need to renew my passport. I have the enhanced license.
Ooh, enhanced.
But
The
I've
other
already
thing,
been to Toronto, so we're not going back there.
the other thing, Toronto was cool. The other thing that is actually kind of makes me nervous about the idea of like traveling to Japan or whatever is I don't know that I feel like I might be a little picky with my diet that I wouldn't.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The
I'm way
food makes
worse
me a
than
little
you. So it's
nervous.
like, what am I eating over there? Rice?
Yeah. The
You
thing is
know?
like part of me is like, oh, I want to try it and like have the experience, but at the same time I'm like I feel like I might get sick and like it might not just go it might just
Yeah,
not
it's
go
just like,
well. Like do
is
I
it
want
like,
to gamble that?
am I gonna be one of those tourists that can only go to KFC and McDonald's?
Well,
When I'm in Japan
the
because
thing
I
is
just can't manage to eat anything else.
I think I could find some stuff to eat, but it's like the kind of the I don't know. Do I fuck around with
I'm worse
some
than
raw
you, so
fish or like
damn.
when they do like some chicken sashimi or some shit?
Yeah, I'm not doing any wild stuff, and I don't eat miso soup, and it's like, well, I don't know.
They
I
have
don't like
rice everywhere,
a
bro. You
lot of
just have
stuff in my
a cup of
ramen.
rice. Live on rice for
Yeah,
2
but
weeks.
I can't go there for 2 weeks and eat nothing but rice.
Egg fried rice. You like eggs in rice?
No,
What is wrong with you?
I know something's wrong with me.
Oh yeah, you can get a lot of Wagyu beef.
Yeah, I'll just pay out the ass for meat in Japan.
Listen, you're on vacation, baby. Put it on the
No,
card.
but trying to keep the budget low. Because it's like, okay, like, yeah, I like the idea of going to these places, right? But at the same time, it's like, man, if it's several $1,000s, I could buy a fucking rig with that.
Yeah, a rig that you're gonna
sick-ass
use every day for
computer.
the next like 3 years,
Yeah.
or like a nice mattress upgrade, like a nice juicy mattress they're gonna spend
Well,
8
my
hours a
mattress
day
is
on.
fine.
Oh, do you? The thing is, yeah, I mean, those are things you should definitely. I think that some people don't value. It's like, dude, you're sitting on your chair for 8 hours. That was you. You're sitting on your chair for like fucking 10+ hours a day, and you're sitting here like, I don't know, I got this back problem. I'm like, bro, what are you sitting in? You're like, a wooden kitchen chair. It's like, what did you think was gonna happen?
I bought some pads.
Did you? Did they
Yeah.
arrive yet?
Yeah, they already came. They're doing well.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, yeah, it's important, man. Or like
Well,
when people.
I have set up, I'll get the good chair.
Well,
You know?
yeah, for sure, but like you need if the setup's more than like 6 months out, or fucking even if it's more than like 3 weeks out, like yeah, find something better than a wooden chair, bro.
It wasn't great.
Yeah, but now you got some butt pads.
Yeah, now I got some pads that are real nice and they do me
They
fine.
feel good on the tush, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Give me and then I get some back support too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, because you were around when I had my sciatica shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, ever since. I don't know what changed. I mean, I started going for walks a little bit more, and that probably helped strengthen and loosen some shit. But I also got a seat cushion, and not that my chair is like a fucking wooden kitchen chair, but the seat cushion seems to really help. So that's good.
Yeah.
No more sciatica, or very little, very very little. I mean, it used to be so bad sometimes I'd like get up and go like stretch 3 or 4 times a night. In the middle of gaming, it was like so painful. It's just like, what the fuck? What's happening to me? I thought it was over. I thought like, this is it. This is my life now.
Yeah.
I was getting to that point of like
Yeah.
reluctance, acceptance. It's like you're just old now and life gets shitty.
Yeah. That was me this year.
Yeah, well, that's me like every year, but thankfully the sciatica did go away for the most part.
Good for you.
Thanks, buddy.
Happy how things work out sometimes.
Yeah, you sometimes you need a little win to keep you going. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you need to hit that scratcher, right? You gotta get that free
You
meal.
like pull tabs?
Do I like pull tabs? I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I'd rather gamble in other ways.
Oh, a friend of
They're
ours.
mid.
A friend of ours loved pull tabs.
Who?
It's the same Jake.
Jake's a pull tabber?
Oh yeah.
The pull
loves them.
tabs? The thing is, I'll do it, right? Usually what happens is like I'll go to a bar because that's that's the only place I know that does pull tabs. I don't know if they do them like at gas stations. I don't think so. Maybe? I don't know. Anyways, we'll go to a bar and like a buddy will be like, hey, let's put 10 in for pull tabs. And I'll be like, yeah, okay, cool. And then we'll both put 10 in. We'll get 20 of them. And then you pull them all and you see what you want and you reinvest unless you like hit, good amount. Like if you make $50 or whatever. And that's fun and whatever. I'll do that, Partake.
Anyway, he sent me a snap. You know,
oh, there's a story.
some pull
Okay.
tabs he was doing, right? And I'm like, oh man, I'm like, what'd you spend? And he's like, oh, 150.
Bro.
I'm like, what?
What did he
Like,
win?
Holy jeez, not 150.
Dude, it's crazy. When you go to the bar, I'm assuming he was at the bar, right?
And he was like, that's light.
Dude,
I'm like,
people
oh my-
dump money on, like when I go to the bar, there are people who are just gamblers and they will dump hundreds, like almost on the reg. Like they'll go to the bar like 3 or 4 times a week, and like half of those times or every time they'll spend 50 or 100 or even $150, $200. And I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing for money? that you
Yeah, it just it seems so wild
you
because
come to
it's
the
so
bar
easy.
every night.
You're
You
just
s-
ripping the thing open. It's like, okay, I'm just throwing away 50 cents every time.
oh, he gets 50-cent ones. Mine are always dollars.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what it costs him.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
yeah. I mean, yeah. It's the most. It's one of those classic things where it's like, um, it's like eating fast food, right? Where it's like, oh, dude, I really want this. And I'm
Yeah,
craving
cheap
it,
thrill.
and you get it, and you eat it, and you're done. And you're like, that was a mistake. That was probably a mistake. Would you say cheap thrills?
A cheap thrill, yes.
Yeah, not that cheap though, eh?
Well,
Spend 150.
relative to other thrills.
I guess. I don't know. You know what's a cheap thrill? Playing
What?
free games on Steam.
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't know.
I don't know where the thrill part.
Yeah, I don't
comes
know how thrilling it. Listen, I get excited for new games, man. Okay, I don't know if it's a thrill, but it's exciting.
Well, yes, that's yeah. I kind of like that idea too, but at the same time, uh, it's you start out excited, and then the game reveals itself to you, and turns out to be a piece of shit.
Right, but I'm living for that I'm living for the what if. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the what if
It's like
we
what
come
could
across
happen.
a great
There's
game.
actually, do you know Brett Kreischer or whatever, the comedian?
Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, it's close. Yeah, that one. He has this. He has like this. So he's like a fucking full blown alcoholic apparently, or whatever, right? And they always talk like they always trying to get him like slow it down or drink less and blah blah. And he talks about he has like this little like 30-second rant where he's talking about why he will never give up alcohol. And he's talking about how it's like, you know, when someone says like, "Hey, you want to go get a drink?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I do." And like it's almost like a hype. It's like a hype up about going to drink. And I understand what he's saying. I know exactly what he's saying because I get it. I get it sometimes for going out with buddies for some drinks or like playing a new game or whatever. It's the excitement, the potential of what the night could bring, right? What could this game be? This could be it. This could be an awesome
Right.
experience.
This could be the next Vagabond.
Yeah. Vagabond wasn't that bad, okay?
I know. That's why I use that as an example.
Oh, well, I thought you were mocking me because you didn't like it.
No, it was fine. Whatever. Keep going.
No, that's it. Just
Oh.
it's a very good hype up. Actually,
Sure.
you know what else was good? Vegan. All the V games are actually pretty good. V
Yeah.
Rising, Vagant, Valheim,
Vermont.
Vermont. Stop. He's gonna when we get big, he's gonna find us.
Vermont.
That's the repump.
Yeah, that's the repump.
Nice. Valorant. There's a lot of V
Valorant.
games.
Yeah, there are a lot of good V games.
That's interesting.
Although I don't know, could we call V Rising was all right.
V Rising was good, I
We
think.
played it for a week and then we were done.
Well, that's because we experienced most of it.
Yeah, exactly. What kind of good game do you experience in a week?
Bro, we played like 10 hours a day for a week. We put in
That-
more hours than you put into work.
That's not hard.
Okay, well, it's harder than me for
It is,
that
well,
example.
it-
Like I couldn't say it for me because that's like
It depends on the work. It depends on the week, I guess.
Yeah.
Some weeks are more work than
we
others.
put more hours in than the average working man.
There's something fun about I don't know.
Games, yeah, I
Hmm.
love them.
I mean, some aspects of V Rising are work. Any survival game, any crafting game, it's work, but it's work in such a fun way.
Yeah, because it's
it
not
gets you those
actually
immediate
work.
results. Yes, because you are your own. No one's on you to do this work, right? You just can do it at your own pace. Yeah,
Yes, but
you can't die of starvation if you don't do it.
but hold on. Okay, it's also because it's gaming always simplifies shit. Like when I'm going to hoe the ground and plant some seeds and see something grow, like I tried that shit, like growing my own shit, right? And it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But at the same time, it's like you have to fucking go out there, water every day. You have to weed the shit so it doesn't get overgrown, right? You have to
Yeah.
make sure, like, and then you also
Worry
have to.
about pests.
Yeah, you have to worry about the pests, and you have to do this for like fucking 90 days before you get one shitty little bell pepper on your plant. And it's like, or I could pay 50 cents and get a giant, delicious one from the store. It's like, oh, okay. I guess
No, I
this
get ya.
isn't really as romantic as I
Farming's
thought
a
it was.
blow-up, yeah. And that's why Harvest Moon and Stardew Valley, they're great. You do your little plants, you water them, and 5 days later you have corn.
Yeah. Yeah, or even like RPGs, it's just like leveling up. It's like, oh, I killed a goblin. Now I suddenly know how to do a completely brand new attack that's super powerful and awesome.
Well, no, the thing about RPGs is, and this is why it's so weird, it's because to me, it's like if you kill a couple of goblins, right?
Yeah.
You all of a sudden have enough money to go rest at the inn for like a month. You know, it's like it doesn't really the economy doesn't make sense, right?
Oh,
It's
you're
like
saying like how like the inns are like so dirt cheap?
yeah, it's like you can just live off a few goblins for the rest of your life for that little amount of work,
Yeah, you kill a goblin, get like 3 gold,
right?
and you're golden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how D&D works too. Like if like a room at an inn is like a few copper, right? And you're going into a dungeon, you're finding gold pieces,
Yeah.
you know? So
Well, you could edit that out yourself as a
it's
DM, right?
it's I think it's like a libertarian fantasy, you know? It's like I'm on my own, doing my thing, but
Libertarian
the cost of
fantasy?
living is so low. Yeah, it's because
Wait,
it's
how is
like
that a libertarian fantasy?
because most heroes are self-made men and women. They're self-made
Oh,
people,
I
right?
see.
They're going into the dungeon. They're taking the risks to reap the rewards. You know what I mean? And like they're not dependent on other people. They don't need anything or anybody. It's just them and the dungeon, and whoever is the tougher comes out ahead and gets the treasure.
Yeah, but what? Okay, what would the further left uh, uh uh, version be? Like you just go to it, like the whatever socialist version would be. You just go to it for free.
Well, I mean, the dungeon's always free. You don't have to pay to get in.
No, no, the inn. You don't even have to go to the dungeon. You're just like, hey, dude, I'm gonna stay here tonight. Okay.
Or you go to you find a nice little farmhouse and be like, "Hey, can we use your barn?" And they're like, "Yeah."
Yeah, and
Cool.
then you start growing some shit, and you grow it too well, and they send you to the fucking gulag.
Damn.
too far.
Well, in a more socialist version, the wealth of the dungeon would be shared among everybody. Yeah.
Stop.
Let's all get together. Let's bum rush this beast,
That would
It's
be.
like whatever's in there ain't taking on 100 people.
Wait, hold on. This would be a hilarious game. It'd be like Socialist Dungeon Runner or whatever. You just send everyone in, and whoever survives, you just bring it back and
Yeah,
split
and
it.
it's shared among everybody.
Yeah, and then, but here's the thing. Oh, what if? Okay, but what if you have to be like the quote unquote leader that you disperse? You'd be like, okay, well, this is what you need, and what's the saying for socialism? It's like, everyone does what they can and they get what they need, or something like that.
That's communism, and it's
Oh, whatever. One
each
step further.
according to their what is it? From each according to their
Needs.
ability,
Oh,
to each according to their need.
yeah. Okay, yeah. That would be funny though if like so you had this right, and maybe you're just running the city, right, the village, and so you can decide who goes in, who does what, and what they get. You're just trying to like grow you know, a healthy civilization,
Okay.
but it's fantasy based. And you guys send people
Okay.
into dungeons,
Yeah,
but you
that's
also need to grow
have you ever
food,
played
right?
Majesty?
No,
It's similar to
is
Majesty.
Majesty fantasy socialism?
It's not socialism, but it's like it's like a sim, but you're not directly controlling anything. So like it's actually a little more capitalist. But like so if say there's like a den of goblins,
Yeah.
right? And you have a bunch of heroes in your
Oh,
kingdom,
you
but
told me you put
you
bounties.
don't control them. You put a bounty on the den, and then the heroes decide when it's worth it for them to go to try to take over the
Okay,
den
yeah.
and get rid of it for you and to get the reward.
Wait, so can you get real fucky with that and like start making like food like really expensive so that people will do shit for cheaper or
No,
whatever?
I don't think you have influence over the price of food or whatever.
I feel like you can like if
But
that
hey,
was a game
you're
that'd be
already
interesting.
coming upon a new game idea.
Yeah, how can we manipulate? How can we manipulate? That's
Yeah.
what it is. Capitalist castle, capitalist kingdom, right? And you're just trying to min max the shit out of your gains. You don't give a shit about the people. You're
Right.
just trying to make as much money as possible. And who cares if people die? As long as you also have to like you're gonna have to take control of the media so you can like control the narrative, and you're gonna have to make sure that people are
What does that
repopulating
mean?
as fast as
Have your own
possible.
town criers.
Yeah, right. Yeah, town criers and
Ah,
all that shit. That'd be a great game. Capitalist Kingdom. Trademark it. That's trademarked. No one take that idea.
oh, that's how that process works.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it's like I remember people. I don't know, but maybe it's true. But I remember people always just say, just like mail it to yourself, because then it's like trademarked.
That used to be, yeah. That's copyright. It's different from trademark.
Oh, okay. Copyright it.
Copyright. That used to be a strat for people, but it doesn't. It's not necessary anymore. You just automatically have the copyright to shit you make.
That's hilarious. You used to mail it to yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Anything else, or are we wrapping it up?
we can wrap it up. I'm ready to go eat. I'm starving. I made food 2 hours ago.
Did Knox ever deliver your meal?
Yeah, and I took a few bites, but I ain't trying to munch while we're talking, you know? I got it
You
sitting
could've
right next to me. I'm gonna have to reheat it a little bit.
Did my Hunchback assignments review.
Wait, what?
Never mind.
You're gonna do a review?
I did my recommendation.
Oh, yeah. Are you doing one every week? Is that a thing?
No, but whenever the mood strikes,
Oh,
I've
okay,
done 2
yeah.
so far.
What was the other one?
The murder bot.
Oh, that's right.
The murder bot cycle or whatever.
Diablo 4 beta's in 2 weeks? Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna pre-order that. I don't know. I might just wait.
I'm mad on Diablo 4. It could be good, but I'll probably just play it when it comes out.
I hope it's good, but I'm not gonna hold my breath for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you pumped for Path of Exile.
Oh my god, dude! If the Path of Exile was a person with a hole, I'd fuck it.
Good. Next month, April, we're gonna do it.
But the 24th, that's very different than 2 weeks. But also, I think the open beta. Okay, I see. The open beta is the 24th.
Yeah, but I think you only get it if you pre-order, right? Don't you only get into the open beta if you pre-order?
Open would imply that it's open, isn't it?
Hey, they use a lot of tricky terms now.
They do. They want to get you into get their little meat hooks into your wallet.
Yeah.
Oh, closed beta is in 2 weeks, and then open beta is 2 weeks after. Okay, well, I'll probably check out the open beta then.
Oh yeah, fine. I would like to see how they're doing the skills. I saw a skill tree that looked a little suspiciously like the giant skill tree from Path of Exile, but hey, I guess you take your good ideas wherever they come from, you know?
Yeah, just how Path of Exile took like the whole genre idea from them.
What does that even mean, bro?
It means that Path of Exile copied fucking Diablo
Genre, dude.
They copyrighted the whole. Everyone looked at it and they're like, "This is Diablo 2, bro." And then they added their giant ass complicated skill tree or whatever talent tree, and everyone's like, "Wow."
It's a great game, and you don't understand.
I'm still not opposed to it at all. I will say that the skill tree is very intimidating to me because it's so fucking big.
You know what? You know what? As it gets closer to like them actually releasing the new expansion, we'll talk about it on the cast.
Oh, we're gonna do a cat. Okay.
Yeah, we'll do a cast.
Little podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, we're kind of this happens every week. We're like, hey, we can end, and then we talk for another 15 minutes about bullshit.
Well, when the conversation's good, Stas, don't douse the fire.
But I'm like, I'm not even sure the conversation's good. It's just that we're bad about ending.
It's
you want
always
to eat? Remember? Did we forget?
Hey, I'll still want to eat in 15 minutes. Is that not how you live your life?
No, that's not how I live my life. When I want to eat now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're more regimented. You're more organized.
Yeah.
I think I could use a little Stas in me.
That's not how our kid's going to get produced.
I can have a baby.
Okay. Go for it. What is this, Junior?
Junior? What?
Isn't that the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh, I forgot about that. How do they even try to explain that? Is that because it's in the future or something?
I don't know. Something science.
So something. I think it's a crossover with Total Recall.
That's got to be after the fact, right?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, we're done. No, we're done here.
Okay.
I Are we doing anything? Are we adding art at all or no?
What art?
What art?
I don't
We'll
know,
live on
man.
in immortal glory.
We've kind of filled out our background. I don't think there's room for anything else.
Yeah, well, we have this giant TV, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could.
we could do a few more things on the table.
Oh yeah, you think we got room on the table? It's already so
Eventually,
cluttered.
we don't have to do anything next week. Okay, we're not drawing anything next week. Fine, I'll put it down. I'll put my foot down on that.
Also, wait, I did see earlier in chat they were saying we should have Frank on sometime. What do you think about that?
No,
Come on, that would be hilarious.
no, I'm not getting Frank on anytime soon. Maybe
What if? Okay, well, how about this?
had an
If we get to a 1,000 concurrent viewers, we'll have Frank and Scotty on.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
That'd be so good. Oh my
The
god.
thing is, it's like first off, I'd have to explain the concept of streaming to him. You know what I mean? I'd have to explain to him what a podcast is,
That's
or you
hilarious.
know what I mean? It's like, I mean, I could just sit him in front of the mic and say,
Yeah,
"Hey, get me
yeah.
on the show."
The thing is, I'd have to have a talk with my dad and be like, listen, there's some things that we're not going to talk about today.
Oh yeah, exactly. That too. You know, my father will talk your ear off about constipation. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I was thinking about like more like wild conservative values for me.
oh,
Or sure, just like going off on tangents about stuff that are just like
I don't. We're the ones asking questions. How the hell would you get somebody onto that?
because it's my dad and there's like things just always come back to certain topics, man. And like I don't need him talking about some conspiracy or I don't know, dude, some wild shit. I can just see it happening. I could see it happening.
Okay, 1,000 viewers, 1,000 concurrent viewers. Yes, we'll have the Frank and Scotty special.
Now I wonder if I can get Zeke to raid. Well, hold on. It has to be like not from a raid, right?
You can't be that desperate to hear Frank and Scotty. All right, I think we're hyping them up a little.
No. Yeah, it's not. Like it would be wild. It would be wild. I think my dad would actually probably be really what's the word? You'd feel
I have
good
no
for being
idea how
invited.
my dad would be. I gotta be honest with you. He's like a little bit of a loose cannon on this. I don't know what he would say or how he would act.
Can you imagine our dad's talking?
Yeah.
It'd be so good.
They don't even know who each other are. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like I don't even know if they'd have enough context.
Oh, it does. My dad has got a gift for Gab, and I'm sure Frank is right
yeah,
there.
my dad's a schmoozer.
Yeah, yeah. So we could probably just sit back and just like let it go.
Yeah, it's our goal to get them to start talking amongst the two
Yeah,
of them.
yeah.
We just sit back and type in chat because they don't know what chat is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
they're not even gonna see it.
Stop. Should we stop? Like, hey, should we try to diverge this a little bit? It's getting a little racy. He's talking about black pepper a lot, and my dad is
streams. So you're the one who's getting banned. So what do I care?
It's true. All right, we're done.
Yeah, we're done.
We
We'll
could
be back next week.
we could still do it. Well, maybe we'll talk about doing a guest next week too.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a guest. Our first attempt
Miss Merc.
was a failure. Our first attempt was a miss.
Yeah. I mean, we could do so many people. Lana would be hilarious. We could do pretty much anyone from the community.
Yes, we could.
So we'll think about it. We'll figure something out. All right, guys. There's a lot of subs today too. Actually.
Yeah, we got it going.
Yeah. Ooh, it's really we're starting to find our strides, Stas. We're starting to catch.
Don't worry, Miss Mark. We weren't going to ask you next week either.
Yeah, it's okay, Miss Merc. You're off the hook for now.
For now.
Yeah, but you're gonna regret it because once we get big and we're streaming to like 50 or 100 viewers, you're gonna be like, damn, I wish I would have done when they were at 10, so I won't be so nervous. And then we're gonna make you do it. We're gonna force you, right, Stas?
No.
Stas, get the blackmail ready. Let's extort her for content.
Should we put a bunch of wreaths under a bonfire and be like, if you don't show up, the wreaths get it?
Yeah, these ones are gonna get it, and we'll smash cookies too. We're gonna just break them and throw them in the dirt.
I'm not doing that. Maybe peanut butter cookies.
I'm not fucking insane, bro.
I don't fuck around with cookies. What are you, nuts?
I wish